Okay, hi guys. Welcome here to another Sunday with us at Ages Past. I am your DM AJ, and I have with me my four great, astounding, phenomenal, awesome, any other adjective you can think of players with me tonight. And let's
good
go through
ones.
them. So
Yeah,
good
thanks.
adjectives, of course. Yes, not the bad adjectives. But let's go ahead and give a little bit of round of introduction as we start with our ladies first.
I'm Kayla. I play Valindra. He's the half-elf, half-tiefling, a dying warlock packed with the chain, and she has Winnie as her faithful companion.
As you can tell, she's a teeny bit sniffly, but
I'm a little bit sick.
we're pushing through. On to the next, we have our best blue.
Hello, my name's Scott, and I will be playing Varkesh Stormcaller, the blue half Dragon Forge cleric.
Excellent, and of course, the best black.
Hey, what's up? I'm Cody, and I'm
Sounds
playing
weird.
Rook, the half Kenku, half Tiefling Inquisitive Rogue.
Perfect, and of course, last but not least.
Hey everyone, my name is Connor, and I am playing Smoky Cloud Cindertongue, the Abjuration Wizard, who is a half Tabaxi and half Fire Ganassi.
Excellent, yes. And of course, we operate every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for you to join in, and of course, the more time you spend with us, the more you are accumulating those total tabletop points. They can be used to influence the game by purchasing inspiration, so that they can roll those dice again for those failed saves, or attack rolls, or ability checks that they might need at the time. And of course, we will be eventually introducing more inspiration purchase options, so keep an eye out for that. We also stream on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays with Dungeon of the Mad Mage and Hoda, respectively. One starting at 6, the other at 6:30 p.m. And so, of course, please join us there, and the more you do, the more points you get. It's a win-win all around, so we hope to see you there as well. But with all those little nitty-gritty pieces out of the way, let's do a little recap from what happened last week with you guys when you were in the final fortress of Varkesh's father. Now, the party had been split, of course, Varkesh being sent all the way to the depths, where he encountered his father trying to coax him to perhaps seeing things his way, and join him in his... You're not quite sure what his goals were. He didn't quite indulge them thoroughly for you.
Didn't work.
It seemed to be on deaf ears, but he left you behind as you got to see a little bit of something going on behind the scenes with Rook's parents. With a bit of insight given to just you, the rest of the party had to make their way through the dungeon in hopes to find you. Falling down some tunnels and some pipes, they eventually made their way into a myriad of rooms, from libraries to mirrored chambers to a very similar hag lair, before finally, eventually rendezvousing with you as you had found upon your own discoveries a set of dwarves and kobolds that you had coerced or encouraged to follow you.
Minions.
And as you all reconvened with each other, there was a sudden disturbance in the back, and as the door was held shut, creatures were unleashed. Oh, hello. Thank you, Chubby. An inspiration point for Varkesh. So, yeah.
Thanks, Chubbs.
And, of course,
Keep up the weight.
as they returned to see what was going on, they discovered that the beasts had been unleashed, the creatures that were being created in this fortress. As you were able to fight them off, luckily for you, you were able to hold them back with a lot of bruises and beatings for your party, especially Varkesh. But with Smokey very aptly working on the teleportation circle in the back, was successful in being able to open it, allowing dwarves, kobolds, and the rest of the party to filter through as fast as they could, sadly taking with you one of those creatures as it followed into the portal. Luckily, even though it made its way to the castle, you were able to destroy it, allowing you all a little bit of safety in the teleportation tower back at Greyfall Keep. Eldrin, of course, had flown in from the opposite tower to try and aid you, but of course he was not needed, as Varkesh had dealt the killing blow with a mighty inflict wounds. So, as you all stand there in the circle, people are panting, catching their breath, trying to assume what the hell just happened, but right now it's down to all of you to figure out the rest, as Eldrin is staring at you, wondering, what the hell was all this?
Oh, I'm not standing or panting. I'm on the floor with many broken bones.
So really quick, all of our viewers got each of the rest of us an inspiration point as well.
Man, everybody got one.
Everybody loves you.
Everybody get inspirations. But yes, so...
I have 2 hit points.
Oh...
Wait, what, really?
As I recall, I was sitting pretty at 7.
Yeah, it was it was a bad
Smokey
fight.
was at 10? I do remember that.
Yeah, for some reason in my sheets it's 40, but I'll ignore that. Anyway, Smokey will immediately clap his hands together. Okay, everyone, we need to grab. He looks at these chests that he didn't expect to come with him. And he's like, okay, we need to take all these and we need to get inside the castle. He will start casting Unseen Servant and start picking up chests to help the dwarves to get inside the castle where it is protected from scrying.
Okay, and this is a non-ritual, correct?
Just popping them off the spell.
All right, so how many you got? You got 3, 4?
Three.
All right, so 3. Quick succession, Unseen Servants materialize. Of course, you can't see them, but as you can see, the chests kind of begin to float and make their way down the stairs as you assume that they're offering their aid to transport them all the way to the center keep. As the dwarves pick them up.
Also, we got to get the remains of the statue. That can be scryed upon too. And so Smokey will try and grab... Did it like shatter? Did it... I'm sorry, the statue, the monster that came out.
Oh, okay. Statue.
Can you scry on dead things?
It's an object.
Yeah,
it's actually made of
I
flesh.
mean, I suppose. But yeah, you can absolutely have the third Unseen Servant drag the mushy corpse if you'd like.
Yeah.
All right.
I will be helping.
Oh, okay, so Smokey grabbing the flimsy legs of one end and the Unseen Servant grabbing the more disgusting end where Varkesh had splattered it.
And Rook is going to turn to Eldrin. Eldrin, I would love to explain, but we need to get inside first.
As you say that, by the way, Rook, you notice that your body reverts back.
Defatted.
You are no longer as enlarged as you once were.
He's a slim chick
Everything
again.
is right with this world again. Okay, all right, let's go. Let's move.
Right, okay.
And I'll help moving things.
Eldrin, not very physically capable of carrying heavy things, he still will try to help you as you all make your way down the stairs in that awkward scenario of, one person at the top, one person at the bottom, trying to balance the walking of the chests as you finally go down the first, down the second. Yeah.
Are we going across the bridge first?
You will be, but you have to go first down the spiral of the teleportation tower to the door, and then across the bridge to the keep.
No. Varkesh will be holding onto the door frame going, no, fuck this, not again. He hates
Someone
heights.
skips cardio days.
He hates heights. He doesn't want to cross that bridge.
Smokey's he was the first one gone, so he doesn't notice this.
Okay.
I was already pretty focused on all the hit too.
Wait, who's got the big corpse? It's Smokey and an Unseen Servant, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and the dwarves, if there are any left to help.
The
Okey-dokey.
dwarves are getting the chests, along with the kobolds.
Sure.
But if Arkesh lingers at the door and lets everyone pass, if no one notices it, he just seems to hesitate.
I'd probably notice that with my passive perception, yeah.
Don't push me.
Probably.
All right, so as we're moving along, I'll glance back. All right, hold on a moment. Turn around and run back over to Varkesh. Varkesh, come on, we need to move. Now is not the time for this. You know what? Here, cover your eyes.
My eyes.
Grab my hands.
And I just,
Come on.
oh God, don't leave me off the edge, whatever you
I'm
do.
not going to. We're moving across. Keep a hand on me. This is a totally solid, regular, ground level floor, and we'll be fine.
What was that? I felt shaking.
That was actually your legs. You need to calm down.
You're right.
With a bit of guidance from your bird friend, you are able to make it across the bridge successfully as the remainder of the party reconvenes at the barracks atop the second floor. The dwarves are a little confused as to where to go from here. They've never been inside this place before, so they pause and stop, cramming the hallways a bit. You don't know.
Give it time. We've only just got back home.
So we're coming into the second floor area. Can you kind of point out where that is in this case?
Yes.
Right
That is the first floor.
oh, okay.
The second floor is over here.
All right, sweet. Move my character sheet over, or my character token over there.
But
and
yes.
for reference, what is this little room here that looks to have things sitting in it?
So that room, when you first discovered it, was
Infantry.
a small quarters for the guards who were stationed at this particular watchtower point. It's for anyone who tried to maybe attempt to come in through the teleportation circle, they'd be there to stop it. So it seems it's kind of like the mini barracks for the keep. You do know, Varkesh at least does know this, that the stairwell just to the south, if you were to go that way, it was blocked off previously, but that stairwell leads down to the stone room before, where it was a perfect setup for a workshop. It was just completely covered in stone slates.
Lovely. I'm going to go over to the dwarfs and be like, hi, glad to see you're alive. And you made it.
Thank you. Thanks.
Where are the kobolds exactly?
They're right at your legs.
Oh. Okay. Fine, to the dwarfs, I suppose. Do you need help with anything? I mean, there's a perfectly great place down below the stairs to set up shop if you like.
They're all confused, but you see, of course, the female dwarf pops up in front. She goes, right, you said you want us to put the boxes down there. Fine, we'll set them up. Come on, boys, haul them down. One more set. They just kind of as they make their way.
I am upper management material.
I mean, Varkesh, they may be more interested in like food and water and rest rather than, you know, setting up a shop.
Good point. You guys hungry?
There's a bit of mumbling with her, and she goes, if you're fine, yeah, they could do with a bit of beer if you have it. Ale's fine.
Nope.
Stout's fine.
How about water?
Sissy wine is fine. Do you have anything like that?
Rook will think back to that ludicrously expensive wine that he purchased. No, we've only recently come into control of this keep. We'll add that to our list of things to procure, and of course, I understand. Well, were you kept there to work in captivity?
Aye.
In that previous stronghold? Aye. Yes. Okay. Well, you are welcome to stay here in the interim, and we can procure whatever you need to keep you comfortable.
Right, well, when you figure out what you have in store to feed us or to give us drink, that'd be fine. We'll be down there waiting for you, and we'll make our own home away from home. So
I'll go down now. I might as well. No shit, I haven't got spell slots left. Fuck. Never mind. I'll just go help.
Oh, okay. Alright, they will continue to haul the crates, that one last set of stairs, and a very annoying right-angled one, too, where it just kind of they have to twist it a little bit
They
down
have
there.
servants to help.
The servants do help. One is still carrying the corpses. You have that, and it's wherever you want to take that.
I leave that in the antechamber.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps we should burn that in the courtyard.
I say give it to Eldrin to examine and study.
I mean, and is he with us at this
Eldrin
point?
is with you.
Yeah, Eldrin. I mean, I was wondering, this is the thing that you helped create, right? This was your project.
Well, I was in charge of a project supposedly surrounding this, but this creature looks slightly more modified than the one I created. There's more something in it. It doesn't have as many. He kind of pokes and prods and examines it. He's going to actually try and see if he can understand it a bit better.
I will assist him by just like.
Okay, all right. Offer assistance. Oh, great. Okay. So as Smokey tries to help point out a few things, he's just waving you off, going, "No, that doesn't make sense. No, stop. No, I
They had 4 arms. They were.
Yes,
one,
I can
two
see
were pointy.
4 arms. I can see 4 right there. Thank you. No, I'm sorry. This is just a little too. I can't quite focus here. I need to probably take this to the observatory in my work study. Then I could examine it more thoroughly. This is just
Okay.
It's just fine. But just take it upstairs. Maybe, can your servants do that?
I'll say one was with me, and me and the servant will hug it. No, lug it up to the observatory.
As opposed to linking arms and hugging the cord.
we lug it via hugging.
Okay. In your own awkward way, you make your way across the keep as you go all the way eventually to the observatory tower to deposit the corpse at the very top. Another set of stairs for Smokey. You sure you don't want to send another unseen servant who was carrying the crates to help do this?
I mean, I imagined I sent 2 with the chests, and then had 1 left over to help me with the body.
Yeah, but the 2 from the chest would have just finished.
Okay. I mean, I'll stick around.
Okay, all right. So having the unseen servants instead doing the dirty work, because it's quite a few steps to get up to the top of the observatory tower.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, you eventually send them on their way as the corpse kind of floats down the hall.
Okay. So Eldarin, as far as I know we haven't left for very long, but were you able to go to like a nearby town and like stock up on any supplies at all?
Are you serious? You do realize you were only gone for maybe, I'd say, 4 hours. Maybe 5, but I've barely just finished waking up and sorting and going through each of the doors that you assigned me to lock with the arcane spell after learning it. I certainly didn't have enough time to do all that, as well as go all the way to, well, whatever the nearest. I suppose Alniel might be the closest, but no.
Yep, just that no is great. Update on the doors, also great. We haven't had a chance to shop either. Our contact with who controls all of our funds is currently behind in Trilac. So we're going to try and get a hold of her, but that's going to have to wait till tomorrow when I can actually transport us again.
That's fine. So,
I lied, I have spells.
would you like me to continue and head over to the cities now, or would you like me to wait?
I look to Valindra and Rook.
More importantly, as far as examining that creature that we brought back, would it be better done while the body is still fresh, or would it be better to wait?
I could try and study it right now. If I don't believe it should deteriorate as quickly as that, but if you wish me to examine the corpse more thoroughly, I could spend my day doing that.
Oh, let's see.
Out of
Have we
curiosity-
even taken stock in what remains in this castle, if anything? Or this fort?
We looked through the floors a little bit.
I couldn't find much. I was clearing up the observatory, throwing out some of the bodies out the windows. So,
I appreciate your efforts in that. Yes, well, if you don't think it will deteriorate too quickly, perhaps it is better that we get supplies first, especially with having brought in more mouths to feed.
Yeah. There's a lot more mouths now. So yeah, Eldrin, if you would mind proceeding with your plan to get supplies, we'll take care of the body and try to. I look at Valindra a little bit, make sure it doesn't deteriorate too quickly or anything.
as you wish, I shall head over to the city. Is there anything you would like me to purchase besides what I can purchase on my own funds? Do you have anything you'd wish to give to me and I could gather for you?
I'm fresh out of funds myself.
Need to borrow some cash?
No,
Well, that
dear.
didn't sound shady at all.
Come to the Blue Dragon. Interest rates are reasonable.
I mean, we have those chests that we haven't even touched yet. Who knows what that
No,
does?
come to me first.
One moment here. DM, about how much would like a day's rations for a regular person be?
5 silver.
About 5 silver? Sweet.
For the cost, yes.
Yeah. How many dwarves and kobolds did we have bringing with us?
You have a total of 5 dwarves and 3 kobolds.
4.
4
Wait,
kobolds?
I have it written down. I have their names ready too.
It's 4 kobolds? Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
It was
Okay.
for
It's
you.
four, it's 4
Four kobolds and 4 really?
Because I think I couldn't take that many people with me.
No, you can take quite a few. You can take enough that could...
Oh, right. It's not limited by number. It's just walking. That's right.
Yeah.
I was thinking it's a different spell. Yeah, it's 4 kobolds.
Alright, yep. So 4 kobolds, 5 dwarves.
Steve, Ruben, Crinkles, and Bob.
Yeah, that's right.
the
9.
names.
That's the number, yep. Alright.
I have a question. In order to come here, did we have to draw the actual transportation circle?
Yep, Smokey had to
far as
trace
I
the
know.
circle and write in the correct sequence of runes in order to activate the link.
Yeah, but is that circle still there?
Oh,
Or
at
does it,
the place?
disappear? Yeah,
It disappears after the
Okay.
the initial burst.
that's what I thought. I just wanted to double check because if
Just unwanted visitors.
Alright. I'm gonna pass over 32 gold from my own funds. Eldrin, see if you can purchase about a week's supplies for each of our new guests. This should cover...
I don't know if I could carry that much.
I was wondering if you stand by a crate and you're touching it and you turn into a bird, will the crate go with you?
Certainly not. I need to be able to
Yeah.
carry it in order for it to be able to be infused.
Yes, well, that does complicate things.
I'm certain you have someone who has the means to be able to feed yourselves while I'm gone. I was assuming you needed more reagents or items to be required for some mission you might be having.
You know, if you could get some rope.
we have been running into a lot of circumstances where that would be helpful.
Would you prefer hemp or silk?
Oh, silk, of course.
All right.
But yeah, maybe just the rope, and then as many rations as you can carry with what you also need to get for yourself. For
Oh,
now.
And some donuts.
I can see what I can do. If you don't need any paper or ink or any other reagents for your spells, then I shall be off then.
All right.
All right, then. Very well. And you see him leaving you as he makes his way eventually down the stairs that the dwarves had gone down and out the door before he reaches the courtyard and polymorphs once more into a bird and flutters away. Which is so much fun because you forgot to ask him what the passwords were for the doors, so that's going to be great.
I'm not planning to have anyone leave this because we can be scryed on anyway, so I'm not worried. Okay, so let's go check on Varkesh. I don't like him leaving with people he calls minions.
That's a good point. After that behavior the last time that he had a hold over you.
Leave me alone.
So, Varkesh, you were downstairs at the time when you were doing this thing with them?
Yep. Helping the dwarf set up. Got rather excited about having craftsmen and crafts ladies working in the castle and keep, because dwarfs are awesome at that kind of stuff.
All right, well, they are making themselves at home.
Okay. What's the lady dwarf's name?
You never asked.
Oh, did I not? Okay. I will go over and be like, excuse me,
Aye.
miss, could you possibly tell me your name? Are these kobolds still latching onto me?
They are more... You could get the sense that they're like dogs. They're not going to really let you out of their sight unless told otherwise. So
Okay.
they're not like clinging to you and hugging your leg, but they are staying close.
Okay.
But as you ask the question, she just goes, well, it's about time introductions, I suppose, are in order. My name is Degrelisa, Under Armour.
Pardon?
Degrelisa. You can call me Degra. Most call me Degra.
Okay, that works.
And
So-
yours?
Sorry, my name is Varkesh Stormcaller.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Varkesh Stormcaller. Thank you for your aid in liberating me and my kin.
You are most welcome.
And your
So-
new friends.
Oh, they're lovely people, really.
I'm referring to the kobolds.
Oh, they're all right. I mean, look at their faces. They're adorable. So, I just go, shoo, off of you. Go find the kitchen and clean it or something.
Okay, they immediately scurry to go and do that.
Nice.
Little Dickens. So, so you're craftsmen and crafts lady, which is really interesting to me. I was wondering, do you need any help with anything? Maybe setup? I too am a blacksmith.
Set up. What are you referring to?
Points to the general space where there is a lack of forge and lack of anything else.
What about this empty room?
Do you want it as a workspace?
Do we want it? You're offering it for us.
I mean, yes.
Well, that's a very generous offer to allow us space to... what do you want in return?
Maybe fix up the castle, make some tools. More people will come eventually, and we need proper craftsmen and trade ladies to be able to do it. Because we are not often here,
All right, well,
or dead.
if all you're asking is for some repairs occasionally, sure, we can offer that and whatever services you might need, I suppose. If you're happy with us staying here for no fee, that's fine with me.
That's fine. Totally okay with that. And he just opens up his bag of holding, and he just, like, lady with a purse is it, just upside down, making all the contents spill out all over the floor.
Oh, there. Oh, watch it. And she just kind of steps
that's
away
fine.
as it's
The anvil clangs out along with the...
the
kiln and
mini
everything.
Ford comes out, the anvil comes out, all the ingots, everything just pours out. It's a very weird situation of Mary Poppins upturning her bag, but
Okay.
she does look at it and go, "Oh, well, you blacksmith indeed. I suppose that's your anvil and your. Is this yours?"
Aye.
As she picks up a breastplate. Is that your work?
Is it the breastplate from Smokey's brother?
It is.
No, that is not mine. Clangs his armor with his fist is like, this is what I've made. this belongs to someone we strip naked.
Oh, I see. So, all right. Well, as she kind of does examine your armor a bit, looking at it, she tinks it a bit, listens, feels it. That is fair craftsmanship for those who aren't really skilled in the dwarvish arts of smithing, but I would say that you did a very fine work. Was that your first time working with adamantine?
Won't tell a lie. Yes, it was.
Yes, it's quite primitive. You see, you've only made a layering of it. The adamantine can really become more functional as a piece of armor if you're able to really infuse it properly with the other metals. I could show you how to do it, perhaps, if you...
Yes.
Well, but in order to do that, I would need a forge. If I was to...
Yes.
Hold on, she thinks for a moment. She actually starts looking around and kind of putting... You do know that my skills are as an etcher. All of my kin here are etchers.
I have no idea what that is.
We specialize in being able to infuse magical capabilities into armor and weapons. I could take that piece that you have there, and I could infuse it into some armor for you, as thanks for not only freeing my kin and I, but for letting us stay here without any real price. Would that suffice?
That sounds really nice of you. I mean, you're not beholden to do so, but okay.
All right. Well, we'll be happy to start work on that once we have a forge. At the moment, I don't really have anything to work with at this time. During this point, that's when they would start walking down the stairs.
Don't worry. If you can gather what's in those boxes, if there's metal in there, I will make one instantly, like that.
I actually haven't opened them yet. Let's take a look at them, boys. Lift them up.
Okay. Opens the boxes.
As you all come down, eventually you all had kobolds rush by you trying to figure out where the kitchens are as they're scurrying about. But you eventually come downstairs to see them all opening the chests.
Should we leave those kobolds unattended?
They're fine. Half of the castle collapses a second later. Oops.
Down to you.
Maybe if you want to send Winnie after them, Valindra.
Yeah, I can. I'll send Winnie after them.
Alright, so you send Winnie to scurry after the 3 kobolds as they are scouring the keep to find the kitchens.
4.
The 4 kobolds, yes. No, sorry, it's 3. There's 1 missing. You don't know where he is. And
Okay.
no, it's 4.
He's up on the battlements playing with a ballista.
We have added such an element of chaos into this keep. It's going to be great.
Yep, but no, so the 4. So as they each go to a box, you can see that Degra is looking at them. She goes, "Alright, Von Zob, what you got?" He looks and goes, "Looks like we have steels and iron ingots here. Nothing too fancy."
Lovely.
And a few of the other ones just open and go, "Yeah, box of coal." "Aye,
Lovely.
same here, box of coal." You've got the 2 of them just not really having much luck. One of them just goes, "Oh, there's some nice here. Come over here." And you see him gesturing over. She goes, "Right, what you got, Skakstor?" Inside they look, and you can see as you all peer over what appears to be a selection of more... Thank you, by the way, for the follow. What appears to be a selection of ingots, mithril, silver, and gold, each scattered across, along with an assortment of precious gems that seem to have been kept into the side. In total, you have what appears to be 20 mithril ingots, 10 silver, and 10 gold.
Wait.
I got
this
it.
shit. Okay, thank you. Sweet Lord.
So, the 10 silver, 10 gold, 20 mithril, and what looks to be, just from a rough guess as you look at the gems, to maybe be valued at about 5,000 gold.
Good Lord.
Okay, any diamonds?
Yes, thank
Go
you.
ahead and roll a d6 for me.
Varkash, this is kind of your thing.
He said you roll d6. I'm not ruining this.
Fine. It also was in your castle, but you're the one giving them free rent.
Yep.
3. All right. You do see what appear to be 3 quality diamonds, 1 worth 500, 2 worth 300.
Okay.
Nice.
Just going to check something here.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind.
All right. So, as you have the gems now sorted and set, another dwarf opens up and goes, "Yeah, there's some spare tools, repair kits and the like. Nothing that fancy." And then the
That's
last,
good considering the circumstances, though.
the last one you can see is already close to the female dwarf, and she opens it up and looks inside and goes, Oh, this is a pretty chest indeed. Come over here, lads. Take a look at this. And as she opens it up for you, you can see what appears to be a plethora of items. Vials and potions that seem to have different colored liquids in them from varying types of magical influences. A few other scrolls that have been tied up nicely and sealed with wax. In there, you have 2 potions of cold resistance, 2 potions of fire resistance, a potion of fire breathing, 10 potions of greater healing, 2 oils of sharpness, 1 oil of etherealness. The spell scrolls are as follows: See Invisibility, Detect Magic, Protection from Good and Evil, Prayer of Healing, Darkness, and Dispel Magic, all of which are at their lowest cast level.
Still handy.
But she looks at it and goes, "That's a pretty nice find for all of you to use and split. As you see, I have no real care for this unless you wish me to, I could use them on my own if you don't want, but I really don't feel like I need to take more from our saviors. I really appreciate all of your help getting us out of there."
Yeah, out of curiosity, where are all of you from?
Well, I originally, and of course some of my kinsmen, we are from the Broken Bone Mountains, originally from the halls of Duradel. Have you heard of it?
Have I heard of it?
Rook, you can make a history check.
Sweet.
And it was the Broken what mountains? I'm sorry.
The Broken Bone.
That's 18.
I feel
18.
like I've heard of that.
You can make one with disadvantage.
Me?
Yeah. But Rook, you do recall what the where the halls of Duradel are located. Oh, so close. So Valindra, it's kind of like, not quite catching on what it is.
She's skipping you.
Yes, I know. So for Rook, the halls of Duradel are a dwarven stronghold that is located just a little northeast of the city of Trilak. They are the closest dwarves to the city itself, and they keep mostly to themselves, and they have a very vast mining system, a very established hold that has been there since before the Reckoning. They were able to fend off most of the horde that came in when they overran Trilak, but they had a few hard times. For the most part, they are just a small, maybe no more than 10,000 citizens at most. You remember it being just like a little strong, fortified keep almost in the mountains.
Well, yes, of course. I know the halls, or I know where the halls are at the very least, although it was a fairly small stronghold there.
I
Surely
beg your
you
pardon,
noticed
small
they missed?
stronghold? There's nothing
Compared to the
small
Trilak.
about it. It was a nice sized stronghold, perfect for what we needed, large enough to hold all of us, and as well as to be able to keep us in defenses. We survived the Reckoning, you know. I don't know what you did when you were there. You weren't even born, I bet, you wee little bird. How old are you?
Much younger than you, apparently, but hardly matters. The point is that wouldn't wouldn't you being missing be noticed? Has something happened to the halls?
As you mentioned that some of the dwarves do look a little bit more somber at the mention of it, and she looks to the side. The halls, sadly, they are no more, due to the fact that we were betrayed on the inside. So, no, sadly,
You have my sympathy and my empathy. I recently experienced much the same with my home.
I shall do my best not to dwell on those thoughts for yours and mine, though in the meantime, sadly, these are all that remain of my kin, the last Etchers.
I'm really sorry about what my dad did.
Well, was it the person who enslaved you who
Aye.
who collaborated with the person who betrayed you?
He's the one who came in and commissioned us early on for armor. We, of course, provided him. Oh, thank you for the cheers. We provided him with all he requested, but of course it wasn't enough. And as he brought us over, he insisted that we kitted out his infernal army that he was building. We refused outright, of course. No dwarf worth his salt would be willing to try and do anything as nefarious as that. However, no was not an answer he was willing to take. and he slew all my kin. Every last one that refused outright until the last of us stood. I stood up and said, fine, we'll make your damned armor. Because I'd rather make sure that our kin and secrets survive, so that the next generation will be able to know the true art of etching. Otherwise, it goes with us.
Sorry about that.
Well, there's no need to apologize for the actions of your father. He's on our hit list.
You say hit or tit?
Hit list.
Just making sure.
Varkash.
Just making sure.
Well, I won't hold the sins of the father to the son, though in the meantime, considering that you saved us from his grasp, I figure that you're not aligned with him anyways.
Oh, no. No.
Very well. Well, if there's anything else you need from us, I suppose we can try and offer our assistance, but in the meantime, I remember that you were asking for some assistance, perhaps with making a forge here. Do you have anything that we could use? Besides, if you don't mind, we could use the ingots in the chest. That'll be fine. We could work on those.
I have no issues unless everyone else wants to make plans for them.
No, I think that's fair. That brought it with us. Might as well use it.
You're nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, well, I actually found I do have a spell slot left, and it is just the right one to cast the Fabricate spell. So I shall get that.
Do you fabricate?
I would fabricate a forge. I would fabricate an anvil. They've already got tools, right?
From the chest that they mentioned, I do have what appear to be spare blacksmithing tools.
Okay, so it would be a forge, an anvil, a quenching tank, and a myriad of other things they may ask for.
Well, you have 5 other things that you could technically create, I suppose.
So I'll ask them what they would like and or require.
If you can make a few more forges, they'll be happy with that, just to kind of help the work a little bit. Or at least make one big forge.
Right.
But they do look around, they say, the metal will help in most cases, but we'll probably need to use some stone.
There's plenty of that around here.
You want us to use the stone from the keep foundation?
No, please don't do that.
I'm just looking around at some crumbled rubble and stuff like that. I mean,
There's very few crumbled rubble.
And
Really?
Not where you're at.
otherwise, that's not what you'd want to use anyway.
never know.
Well, maybe with fabricate, but
So I take it Varkash has extended his offer for you to stay here and work the forges then?
Is that not the case?
Yes, that is the case. I just wasn't certain he had actually offered. Either way, we have a friend here, the Eldarine, the wizard, the elven fellow who was here earlier, who's provided us a means of secure entry and exit of this fort. Once he returns, we will be finding out exactly what trigger word to use to open the doors, and we can see what we can do about finding a quarry for you nearby.
and maybe we won't tell the kobolds the passwords.
Definitely don't.
I don't think
Please.
that.
Well,
They're sweet.
I'm
They're
not.
adorable.
I'm not familiar with your magic, so if you need what you have and you can use, we'll take whatever you bring us.
Okay. And
Varkin.
just to give you guys a little overview, so this is a castle that's protected from. I mean, I don't know how well magically inclined you guys are.
We're
outside of
etchers.
outside of etching and enchantment, but there are spells that let people see certain objects or people over long distances. The castle itself is protected from that. And so
Is it
I
now?
would advise that if you don't want to be found again, you stay within the confines for now until we can figure something out.
Are you sure about that? That this place cannot be divined on?
Cannot be divined, you can't even teleport in here unless you're in that tower that we arrived in, which is why I wanted everyone to get out of there so quick.
Right. Well, this place is very good for us then. If you don't mind, we might actually wish to stay a little bit longer than we anticipated. If you have a place that can give us haven from the prying eyes of that dragon, I'm fine with that.
Of course, we are still getting ourselves established, but we haven't a staff for the fortress yet, and if you intend to stay for some time, perhaps we could even employ you.
Well, if you can afford their services.
That is the crucial of the matter, isn't it?
Fine. That seems all fine to me. By the way, Varkesh, you do know that if you wanted to make stone, the canyon rock side that's around you near the walls, you could easily pull from that if you wanted to use the stonework.
I'm on it. Just run off and just go after the stone.
Okay.
Ah!
No.
That stone won't know
We,
what hit him.
We have a close ally of ours who may be able to draw up a decent contract if you're interested in such things, although we shall need to make contact with her first, and she also
Oh God.
will be able to authorize any funding necessary.
Right,
do it.
fine. If you need someone to work your business for you, that's fine.
All right.
Use the tools available to you.
Why
It's
would
better
you?
than I.
Why would you sick that woman on those poor dwarfs? They've been through enough.
Because, as I said, use the tools available to you. She's better at it than I am.
In any case, our elven wizard went off to get some rations and all that sort of thing. So we're a little shorthanded, but hopefully he'll be back in a few hours. If you guys, what?
No, no. This is DM. A few hours.
Isn't it?
No.
Okay, that's what Smokey figures.
Oh no. No.
Well, so if there's anything you need, again, we are kind of learning this castle ourselves. So, I mean, if you find anything that looks dangerous, feel free to call us. And I'm pretty good with magic. Varkesh is good with holy magic. I point to Valindra. She's also pretty good at magic herself. Rook is the best at sort of sneaking and, killing things, but he's also very smart.
Yeah, not surprising. Your weakest link.
I'll remember that, dwarf.
Well, you're the youngin' and you can't handle business by your own self. You got to have someone else step in for you.
Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm the youngest.
How old are
Can I look
you?
at Rook? Just turned 21, I think, yesterday.
Well, you are a wee bay, aren't you?
So long.
Happy belated. Now, recently birthday.
Actually, Rook is the youngest.
You do Kenku years.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, just youngest in general, man.
All right.
Still, if either of you need any assistance to be able to feel more comfortable when dealing with us, that's fine. Most folk can't handle the dwarven way.
I'm rather looking forward to it.
I'd be
say
happy
over
to
there.
learn anything about your culture or traditions or anything like that.
Do you have any work that you have?
I mean, it'd be random at this point. It's not one of my given languages or anything like that. So I don't know if...
Do you have any work, lad? Craft? Items that you've made?
I deal mostly in energies, not so much actual physical stuff. I found this, though, and I'll pull out the rod, the movable rod.
She looks at it and goes...
Pull out the rod.
She looks at it for a second and goes, not bad. Pretty sturdy. She tries to do this and then she eventually clicks it. Ah! Right. I've seen one of those before.
Yeah, actually there is one thing. I left the objects that I used for a spell. I had these little beads that I could just turn into like kind of creatures that would attack people. I had to leave those behind because there wasn't really a chance to fetch them. They were made of adamantine, so they could do a lot of damage even though they weren't, actually enchanted themselves.
So upset you lost them.
Well...
I was following you!
I know, but I'm just like...
Well, I don't necessarily have any adamantine of my own. If you're fine with asking your friend, he's the one, I think, who's got the adamantine.
It's true. I was just... I mean, that's just the stuff I have. But yeah, I'm not much of a craftsman myself. Again, just energy more than anything else.
Right. Well, if you're ever interested in learning, you're always welcome to come and watch.
Okay.
Right then, so, if you have anything else to provide us with, food or drink, we'll be happy to take it. Otherwise, we'll wait here and try to get what we can set up.
Okay.
Alright.
Varkesh, are you here?
I think he scurried out to get stone.
I'm just casting that preemptively.
Okay.
Just, cast and run.
Alright. You do see he's doing the version of like running out and then putting some down and scurrying out and then growing. It's basically going into the courtyard area down below on the lower level to get some loose stone.
I'll send my unseen servants whatever they have left on timing to just help them with that task.
Okay, sure. As they're a bit far away, but I mean, they would have. Well, at least one is still with you, and that one would help you out. But the others might eventually, if you told them to, when they come back. But yeah, they start doing their thing. As you can see, that Deirdre, she just goes about and just starts barking orders like, "All right, measure outwards are there. How much feet we got? Ah, too small. Fine, fine. Work it here. Bend over there. Now don't lift with your back, you stupid old crud. It's your legs." So you can see she's very much in turn the leader of this little
Management.
dwarf posse. But yeah,
That's
she
fine.
is.
I like her.
Dwarves have hardly any legs.
She's leaving you all to do what you want, as she's busy ordering out the rest, getting them sorted for the day.
Okay. So I think we should just all talk together. I'm going to try and flag down Varkesh before he keeps on
Just
going
running
back and forth.
Back and forth with stones about.
Varkesh, you have a minute?
Yep. What do you want?
Well, I thought we could maybe do like a debriefing because like we were split up for quite a while.
What's that? He says as he runs off to get another stone.
Well, just talk about what happened in the hideout.
Come back and say, "No need to shout. I'm just here."
So you okay with that?
What's the
It's not
question?
a matter of whether or not he's okay with it. We need to discuss this. Perhaps we should do it away from other ears.
Recalling what he witnessed when he was, for a short period of time, a prisoner, he's like, yes. Might need to talk to you, Rook.
Right. Well, again, away from other ears, please. Let's go upstairs.
Have I got enough stone?
No, you're probably halfway there.
God damn it. Okay.
Servants are still going.
Yeah, the servants can make a continuous, runabout.
Oh, all right then. Fair enough.
But yeah, if you wanna step away and have Valindra and Smokey have a moment to themselves while you take Rook to the side.
Do I tell him privately or do I tell the entire party?
I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't just.
I mean, you guys know a bunch of stuff about me.
Well, I don't know, because if I say this part, it really... all right, fuck it. I'll tell the whole party. If Valindra ends up killing his parents, then that's her thing. Right. As you know, I was captured. I was taken away.
Although
and
it seems you managed to get out of that fairly well. Okay.
perfectly fine. Most people tend not to remember that you can't really cage me. So
Well,
I
I'm
managed...
more concerned about the matter that someone tried. I recall how you reacted in the past when people have put you behind bars of any sort.
Let's just say I had something to focus on.
Okay.
So before I made my escape, my father appeared and...
So he was there.
Yes, he tried to convince me to join him. He didn't give me any specific reason why, nor was I really interested in listening. But upon leaving me to stew in my cell, as it were, he left down a corridor and he entered a big pair of double doors. And I saw a tiefling woman inside this room. Now, naturally, I was just like, this is a bit curious. So, not having any of my items taken away from me, I managed to scry within the room, and I saw a male Kenku and a female tiefling talking to my father.
A male Kenku... My parents. You saw my parents.
Yeah.
Are they okay? Did they look injured?
They're perfectly fine. As a matter of fact, they looked rather clean, unbruised.
That's something.
Yeah, that's something. Right.
Although something concerning too. Were they in chains?
No, they were sitting rather comfortably, drinks out in front of them, and they were talking to my father, and they were discussing the future of your clan, as it were. And needless to say, my father made some ultimatums, was rather displeased with them, and demanded that they sacrifice you to him for the very specific reason of your parents handing you over to him for whatever reason. At that part, he never said, so that your clan can obtain the abilities that you yourself have via his magics and his powers. That's what he promised them. And
he'd be promising them something their entire race has been attempting to achieve for far longer than he's existed.
Well,
I don't think my parents are foolish enough to believe he can do that.
That's kind of... They agreed to it. They agreed to give you to my father, and for the promise of obtaining what you have. Apparently, you were meant to be sold off into marriage so that the next generations could potentially do what you do, but he's promising them that they can do it all now, provided they hand you over, and they agreed to it. I'm sorry.
Are you sure that's what you heard?
Every word?
And you're sure there was no duplicitousness in their statements?
Mm-mm. Your mother seemed hesitant at first, but then she agreed. Hearing paper rattle? Anyway.
I mean, do you think that they just agreed to keep their people alive and know that he would probably never be able to get his hands on you? I mean, they don't even know where you are.
It's a possibility.
They were told that if they ever saw you again or had the chance to obtain you, they would hand you over, capture you and hand you over immediately. Your father didn't even really hesitate. Your mother floundered for a moment, but then just agreed. She didn't really seem to fight all that much. It seems like they are in cahoots with my father. For the reasons I have no idea. But yeah, that's what I heard and saw.
Well, that is a lot.
I would say so. I am sorry.
But ultimately, it changes nothing. We still need to get them away.
Okay.
I can talk about them. We'll talk with them and determine. I don't know, but he's still the ultimate problem in this circumstance. Any grievances with the parents can be taken care of away from him.
Yeah,
Well-
I mean, on the upside, Varkesh, you've seen both his parents now, which means you can use sending on them to communicate.
I can definitely give it a try, but I'll back your play whatever you want to do with your parents, Rook. Just, I'm sure that you're going to brace for the 50% chance of a bad outcome, naturally. Just to be sure.
Well, I've never been what one would consider overly trusting.
Well,
It'll be okay.
just don't get your hopes up.
And Rook is just quiet.
I'm gonna go stick the kettle on. I'll be right back. Everyone needs a brew right about now.
All right, just devolving that one piece of information.
That was it. That was everything.
Nope.
Well, you mind pinging me the reminder because
Corpse.
Didn't he send it all to you in text?
right, yes. There was another issue. You remember that dragon that attacked the cathedral where your clan was located?
Yes.
Yeah, I found that fucker down there too. Headless. Ripped to pieces.
Well, that is not overly surprising if we could drive it off, I suppose.
What,
Yeah.
Did you see anything else there?
It was scattered around in pieces within the room before I entered the forge where the dwarves were
Did you see
previously being held.
Did you see any of their bodies with it?
No, just the dragon.
Did it seem to be a result of your father's displeasure?
It
Did he
looked like
fail
it
him or
was.
something.
It looked like it was ripped apart by teeth and claw.
Okay. Okay.
So I see two possibilities as far as that goes. One of which would be more useful to us than the other. Either he has some other Blue Dragon cohorts with him in this area, or he is operating outside of their influence entirely, and that was a territorial dispute type situation.
I think it was the latter.
We can hope as such, because that would be first blood drawn on his part. If we could perchance obtain some evidence and get word of it over to the
The
Suzerain.
suzerain.
the suzerain, that could potentially net us a useful ally, or at the very least direct his wrath towards someone other than us for a time.
Yeah.
It's a possibility, but hey, as far as dragons go, especially the chromatic type, I wouldn't really put too much stock in that. But it's worth giving a shot. You never know. Might be pleasantly surprised. But I definitely think it was the latter of what you mentioned, that my father was in exile, building up his plan. The suzerain sent his Smokey's brother and sister, and then an enforcer, aka the young blue dragon that we fought out. Dad didn't like it, went out, did him in, dragged his corpse back, and is actually, I think, he's using more of that dragon, like he was using me, to create more of those creatures.
Oh,
That's what I think.
that would make sense.
So he killed him because it was like, bastard, you're in my home turf. And I went, ooh, as a matter of fact, I can use you. And then Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, there you go.
Another point of potential use for us, come to think of it, now that we know that Varkash's father is actually a dragon and not a Goliath,
And a
Again.
dickhead.
depending on whether or not we can obtain proof, that may be useful to report to Jin Trit, since he was so insistent that the only possible threat to a dragon is another dragon. This
That's-
escalates things.
That's true. And plus, we have at least one event of a dragon from the Jin Sin at way outside of their territory. That would be an interesting line of investigation, but I'm kind of worried about my siblings at this point. They were supposed to be, working together with the dragon that's now dead.
Your sister teleported away upon being knocked unconscious, and your brother was still in the city while the dragon fled. I
Yes.
think they'll be fine.
She at least had to have had contact with that young dragon, though, to tell him that we were in the lake, though.
Possibly.
No, definitely.
Or it could have been someone else.
I mean, if she can do the things that you and Varkesh can, she could have sent a message without being near the dragon.
I don't know why she wouldn't have gone back to the camp that we saw across the loch.
Was a pretty brash fight.
Okay. Is there any other information, Varkesh? Okay. Oh, as far as what we went through, first, so we had the Boulay things that you were with us and you were captured. We scurried down. We found a hall of mirrors,
Ooh.
each of which actually was able to permanently, it looked like, scry on different locations. Some of them were the hideouts that we'd already been to.
Each of them were the hideouts that we'd already been to, as I recall.
One-
Minus one, which
A dwarven settlement.
That's interesting. That sounds could have been the dwarven settlement that he nicked those dwarfs from.
I would bet so.
Hmm.
Well, one was a life trapping mirror.
Well, that one that wasn't
It's like,
included.
we're not talking.
We're not
about
talking about the mistakes the party made on their way to get to you.
there were no mistakes. We were flawless, never got caught.
No health was lost.
Absolutely none.
We were able to destroy all those mirrors, though, so I think that's a good punch in the gut to your dad. After that, we found an old enemy, the hag that got away from us in the Ravenwood.
Oh, you killed her, right?
No, she got away again,
Oh.
but not before she made Rook all pudgy again. So it looks like he's all better. But yeah, she sicked Earth Elemental on us. and we found a few useful things, but that's where I lost my beads.
Ah,
No,
well.
actually, no, I lost them before that. But yeah, she got away, and then soon after that, you found us. Unless I'm forgetting something, I looked at Valindra and Rook.
Find out any information, any books, knowledge.
Oh,
I think that about covers it, really.
Yeah, they skipped the library. They
Did
went
they?
right
Oh.
into the hallway to chase the kobolds and didn't look back.
Okay.
well, the kobolds, that was before we split up anyway.
No, this is after you split
Rather
up.
pressed for time.
You fell
Yeah,
down
this
and you were
after we split up.
deposited in a room, and then you just followed
Oh,
them.
that's true.
Yeah.
Because that's when we found we were kobolds and the mage that we had to try and keep from getting away. And
Yep.
we were trying.
But you
We
didn't.
went
You
around
didn't
and avoided the
backtrack.
common room / library because we were trying to avoid an unnecessary fight, which ended up going in our favor considering how close to death we all ended up being.
By the way, though, as this is going on, the conversation, you hear a dwarf voice in the distance going, "Could you tell your bloody things to stop piling rocks in here?"
Oh, Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yes, as you go in there, you see there's there's now just like a continuous buildup of rocks that is just piling
All
up.
right, halt.
Go out with the axe. Stop!
All right. Well, is there anything that is repetitive? Oh, wait, even better. All of you do whatever she says. There, we all good?
You're telling that to the dwarf girl?
Yeah.
She's like,
To the servants.
right, how many are there?
3.
Right.
I can't see him.
They're not
Okay.
particularly robust, but they can do.
Organize the rocks from largest to smallest in piles of 5.
That's rather specific.
And so they start going out, and she's like, yeah, all right, they're doing it.
They should be good, but don't be alarmed if suddenly you see a rock and they all just drop at the same time. They only last for an hour from when I cast them.
All right, sure. I'm not too stupid, I know Unseen Servant. The spell's not lost on me. We use it all the time.
Okay.
You just said earlier that you don't follow all of the workings of magic. Which is it?
I never said I don't follow all the workings of magic. I said I don't know all the ins and outs of all magic. But some of the simpler things I completely understand. That is a very basic spell.
With
Rook's
the
making a
prevalence of the
friend.
rest of everything that we've been seeing, it seems pretty fucking simple to me too.
Right, the non-magic user knows magic is simple or complex.
How to make friends with Rook Belfry.
I mean, it's certainly been more common than these fucking unseen servants around.
Anywho's it. I'm gonna just try and push Rook back out. You're welcome.
Rook's having a bad day, and he's getting tired of it.
I mean, he gained like 100 pounds and lost it in less than an hour.
Yeah,
What,
it's on
what
top
time
of everything else going on.
of day is it?
Right now, it's probably 1 o'clock to 2.
Valindra is gonna go take a short rest.
Okay. As Valindra goes to take a short rest, Winnie is notifying you all the time about what the kobolds are doing. They're in the kitchens finally. And
the pots and pans.
there is a lot of concern as to what's going on, and they're talking to each other in a language. Do you know Draconic?
I do.
I do.
Yes, but does the Fennec Fox know Draconic, or is at least able to tell her what it sounds like? No. Alright, it's just a bunch of gobbledygook with those little things. You don't know what they're talking about, but they're doing investigations of sorts, looking around the kitchens to see what they can do, and they're eating a few things. Bugs, mostly, but...
I'm just gonna speak through Winnie and say, I wouldn't try anything if I were you.
Oh, make an intimidation check.
Just get advantage. That's pretty out of nowhere.
I mean, it's
Evil
also
little
coming from a
fox.
tiny little fox, so...
All right.
11. Okay. I mean, they're not the wisest little fuckers. Let's see what they... Okay. Yeah. They get startled, not only from the sudden voice, but they look to see the fox, and as, they look at him for a moment, Winnie just kind of goes with your mood and goes, in this little, back ear thing, and they're just like, and they all start scurrying around, trying to do their job, cleaning up, taking the vines, and just trying to throw them out, pile them away, clean up the kitchen. That was their task.
Smoke
Don't
is
bully the big blue crew. That's not nice. Ooh, I like that big blue crow. Yep.
Smokey
Keep
will,
it-
Smokey will make his way back down to Degra, preferably alone. Miss Degra,
Aye.
so you're used to like all sort of enchanted objects and that sort of thing.
Aye, yes, we are.
All right, and he will reach in and pull out the finger bone and the rod of the Pact Keeper of Valindra's. What can you make of these two things?
Well, that's a finger bone, lad. The rod, however, that she holds it and looks at it for a moment, just kind of examines it. Aye, this is magical. This is pre-reckoning. Where'd you find it?
So our friend Valindra, she made a bargain with the owner of these, but she's not anymore, and now she's sworn to try to get rid of the influence. But we have these things left over, and so I was wondering if you had any means to destroy them.
Well, I could try. What kind of bargain?
Well, I mean, have you heard of? Does Smokey know the term warlock?
Yes.
Is that a thing?
Yes.
Okay,
He researched it with me.
that's true. Kind of like a warlocky pact.
Right. With a what? A dragon? Is this a dragon's?
No. Look how small it is.
The size doesn't matter. You do know that most dragons can take on a humanoid form at will when they're about 100 years of age.
Of
So
course,
when
a
you
dwarf takes offense to small jokes.
Anyway, okay. Well, it's not. It happens to be actually a lich.
What? She just
Smokey,
she
you're
throws it
killing
back at
me.
you.
Oh
What?
my god.
That's a lich's thing.
Yeah.
I want no part of that. You keep that. You throw it away. I bury it. Do what you wish. I am not touching
well,
that thing.
I'd like to, but do you think you could destroy it though?
I'm
is
not
my
touching. Do you? No, I am not touching a lich's made item. That is just cursed.
Okay, fair enough. Alternative, would would you be willing to create an unbreakable chamber to contain these things so they could not be touched?
I don't. I could try. Do you have any lead?
I could get some.
All right.
I could get. I mean, we got some of that mithril, and so I was thinking maybe you could use that, and make
That
it,
won't stop it, lad. You need some lead. Do you have lead?
I don't know, but I could get some.
All right, fine. If you can get me some lead, fine. I'll create for you a lead container to try and prevent the items from being taken away. But at the moment, you keep that far from me workshop.
Okay. And so, anything else you need? Because I mean, I wanted sort of like a box that you can sort of seal off, so there's no way to open it ever again.
I could fuse it with some. Yes, I suppose it's possible.
Okay.
You do know that most things can eventually be reopened, right? Nothing is permanently able to be undisturbed.
Even if you use your etching abilities to make it even.
I could
harder to
reinforce
open?
it, laddie, but if someone cast a dispel, they could just destroy the magic.
But you can't do that with regular enchanted objects.
With an enchanted object, lad, you can dispel it enough to try and dampen it, and then destroy it once it's been dampened.
Oh. I should know this as an abjuration wizard.
You do know that magic items are very resilient, and they tend to be very resistant to damage, but if enough force and effort is used, they can be destroyed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that is, a little project of mine, trying to make it work. And of course, I will respect your wishes, keep it away from you until, maybe we have something prepared to contain it. But otherwise, just, want to throw it out there.
Right, you keep it in there. Don't throw it. Just take it away.
I personally vote we Mordor this shit and find a volcano to toss it into.
Okay, and Smokey will go to rejoin the group.
All right. So, at this moment, you have the day to wait for whatever you wish to do. Varkesh, there is a plethora of stone for you now to use for your fabricate spell, if you wish to do that.
Okay, I will start fabricating. But before that, how many hit points does a rook have?
7.
7. Okay. Rook, seeing as we don't have any food, and you being so good with a crossbow, by chance, maybe could you go hunting? Not very far, mind you, to see what you can find.
As soon as we can get out of this place and get back in without problem, yes, I can.
Marvelous.
Yep, Valindra is rolling her hit dice for those of you who wish to do that during the short rest time.
Yeah.
Just in case. Just in case.
After she's rested up a little bit, she is going to go help the dwarves around the forge.
Okay, alright, so you take an hour to the short rest. So during that short rest time, Varkesh is going to take 10 minutes to cast the Fabricate, which will create what appears to be a very nice workshop, not only with a very large industrial-sized forge, but you have a few anvils for them to work on, as well as some benches and a few other necessities that you would need of any good blacksmith. And providing them with a proper workspace, they're able to get right to work. And as she looks at you, she goes, "Right, well, I suppose that was faster than I anticipated. I didn't imagine you'd be so skilled at crafting it with your spells. Is that how you did it with your armor?"
In a pinch. I mean, I could do it by hand, but it'd take me a long while. I'm just really that.
Right.
I mean,
well, if you don't mind, if we can take your armor off, we can then try to reinforce it to make it better.
Okay. And just start stripping down to me loincloth.
All right. Here, come with me. I'm going to show you some of my techniques. All right.
Really?
She looks at the rest. All right, yeah. Go ahead. Get to it. Smelt it down.
What?
Don't worry. You have to destroy to create.
Beg your pardon. I think I'm allowed to worry right about now. I'm naked, and you're destroying the shit I'm wearing.
Yeah, we'll craft new ones. Don't you worry about it. And with the armor already enchanted from the previous breastplate you have, we'll be able to make it lickety-quick.
Okay.
All right, now, over here. Come on.
Just walking around this fucking blacksmith fucking workshop completely almost naked. Sure, why not?
She takes you over to one of the workbenches, and with a few of the spare blacksmithing tools and sets, she pulls out what appears to be some parchments and begins to try and design a suitable set of armor that you can see. She has her own skill set with the dwarven style, and she tries to incorporate it with your new piece.
Ooh.
But of course, she's letting you have any insight as well as to ask questions as you spend a good time just working over this particular design and trying to make it the exact one you might like. During this time, of course, Valindra is short resting and successful. As the other two, are you also short resting?
Just quickly,
Yes.
I will give her my entire set of pristine adamantine blacksmithing tools to work with the actual material if it makes it easier for her to borrow, of course, not to keep.
All right, to borrow your... Yeah, she'll look and goes, so interesting, a little extravagant. Not many will use it for tools, but I'm not going to judge.
That's because they're losers, and if you don't work with adamantine, you is a basic bitch.
Right, fine.
Varkesh.
So she takes your spare set to allow her to use as the rest of the party does their short rest. Smokey, you said something?
No, not yet. No.
Okay, all right. So it takes you guys an hour. During this time, Varkesh, the process of the Fabricate has begun. A design has been thoroughly worked out, and you can see she looks at you and goes, "All right, now the longest part of this process will be trying to create some form of a mold, perhaps. Do you have any way to craft one of those here? Do you have some spare clay or sand or anything like that?
Not that I know of.
Do you have any means to make something like that?"
I could. The only problem is that I'm out of the ability to do so right about now.
Right. How long do you need in order to use your ability again?
2 carry the 6 divided the whole day.
Right, fine. Well, I can make sure that we keep the metals and materials ready so that when we pour, we'll pour accurately. Are you...
Wait, you're not going to pour molten metal on me, are you?
Not on you. No, we'll pour them into the mold.
I'm just clarifying here. I mean, I'm all for trying new things, but that's a bit out of my comfort zone. So just
Don't worry about it. We'll have it all sorted and ready so that tomorrow when you are good and ready to go, we'll have a beginning. That's fine.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Now then, for the moment, boys, take your rest if you need it. Keep it hot.
Just walk around the entire castle almost completely naked as always.
Valindra, you said you were going to come in after the hour's rest. All right. During that time, you would see that they have successfully taken what appears to be pieces of Varkesh's armor and are separating and smelting what appears to be the common steel and the adamantine to make sure that they can get the two metals separated. And it looks like they're beginning a process of trying to do a very delicate procedure of trying to refine it. But you can see that they're focused mostly on that. The female dwarf sees you come in and just goes, "Can I help you with something, lass?"
Actually, I was going to ask you if I could help you at all.
Do you have any knowledge when it comes to fortune?
Say yes.
I have a little, right? Because I helped Avon in the, way back.
All right. Do you know how to
What
keep
about
an even temperature?
Yeah, I can probably manage that.
All right, fine. Oh, yeah. And you see her just gesture around. She goes, "Baradek, off the bellows." You see him kind of grudge off to the side as he goes off to take a break. She gestures for you to take over.
I go take over.
All right. As you go take over, make an intelligence check to see how accurately you
Oh,
can
God.
God
keep
damn.
the temperature going.
Okay, is this with advantage, though? Because I have helped with...
Proficiency, maybe?
Sure, just so you don't mess up Varkesh's shit. Yes. I'll give you advantage. 2 nat ones.
I appreciate that.
Rude.
I mean... Hey!
Oh, well, I
No
mean...
No faith.
So, it's kind of like this version of, yeah, I know my shit. And then you just kind of begin to work, and as you do it, she watches you, waiting for you to mess up, but then she just stares and goes, "Hey, all right, fine. You weren't talking out your arse. Fine. Very nice. Keep the temperature steady for the moment. We're trying to make sure we can separate the adamantine from the steel."
You got it, boss.
And as the even temperature goes, it's just enough to try and melt what appears to be the inner workings of it so that the inside begins to peel away and a thin adamantine shell is left inside this refinery, trying to make sure that they can separate it slowly but surely. And it does gather into what appears to be a small little side catcher that's just making the spare ingots there. But you do the process for however long you wish to help them.
I'll help them for the rest of the day or until
Oh, all right.
somebody comes and gets me to do something else. I don't have anything else to do.
Okay, sure. Yeah, offering your help. Anyone else wish to do anything in the keep?
Rook's just gonna kind of retreat up to the highest point that gives him a view outside, which that isn't currently occupied with a workroom and is still shielded from scrying, which to his knowledge is this part right here.
Ah, yes, you can go up to the observatory tower, but as you get to the top where you think Illidan's workspace would be, you notice that the door is barred shut, locked by some magical means, and there is a corpse sitting right there at the door because the unseen servants could not get it in there.
Oh no, he wasn't gonna go into the actual observatory tower. That's the one at the very top right?
Oh, not the very, very top. The one just one below it?
Okay. No, I'm not going there. I'm over here, at the guardhouse.
Oh!
Relation there.
Wait, you didn't move at all. Oh, no, wait. Oh, it's okay. My computer is very different, like the one that has it. You're still there with Varkesh and Smokey in the guardhouse.
Oh yeah, no, I'm way up.
Okay.
That's weird. Yeah, I was kind of moving my character around this whole time, but he just made his way up there, and the comments the dwarf made about craftsmanship is kind of getting stuck in his craw. So he's gonna pull out his alchemy tools that he's not proficient in and try his hand at making a pretty standard acid again.
Oh,
Sure.
okay. So go ahead and try to make your acid with your alchemy tools check.
Yep. So he doesn't have proficiency. So what skill check is this?
That's just intelligence.
All right. Ooh, that one.
Okay.
Boy.
Well, it's a good thing that you
You
kind of...
do have a point of inspiration if you want to use it.
I'm gonna use it now.
Oh, I just want to hear Rook running from the tower to tower going, "It burns!"
Okay. So Rook, down. You're in a guardhouse that's right at the front of the castle, leading to the overgrown town. As you try to make your own version of a caustic material, instead, what happens is you find that as you mix it, you kind of get that version of watching the vial, and it just kind of gets a little bit more violent. And it just goes and you're just like, you drop it in, it bursts. The vial is completely ruined. All the contents inside are destroyed. You made some very bizarre, explosive concoction.
I love it. That's cool. So seeing that, it's gonna like grab the alchemy kit, rear back, like he's gonna toss it off the edge, then gather himself, put it away, kind of slouch against the corner, look off over the edge, and pull out his wine bottle and just start drinking a little bit.
All right, yeah, with a moment to himself. Smokey.
I'm typing out ascending right now.
Oh, how many words do I got?
Come back to me.
Oh, but you're the last one in the day.
Fine. Okay. I am trying to organize my thoughts to make up a note ascending to my sister.
Oh, all right.
All right, here's what I got so far.
Are you verbalizing it, or?
I'm going to verbalize it, yeah.
Oh, okay, all right, good.
We know who killed the young dragon. That is our enemy. Do you think a common enemy can bring our family back together? How's Arad?
Okay. And this is evocation, correct?
Yes,
All right. So
for some reason.
can't be blocked by this shit, you know. But yeah. So as you send it out, it does seem to be received, and eventually you hear a reply come in. I don't think there's much you can do to repair the damage you have caused, little brother. Arad is fine, and we take care of him.
Okay, that's still better than it could have been. And with that, Smokey will try to make himself helpful where he can, be it managing the kobolds or just because he's not comfortable in the forge.
Sure. If you go to the kitchens, you would see that Winnie is doing this very weird version of being like a guard dog, a very tiny one at that, but an effective one, keeping the kobolds in line and having them work as they do a diligent time of cleaning and removing all the vines to make the kitchen usable once more. It's a very interesting sight as small little lizards are being intimidated by an even smaller little furry thing.
Mm-hmm. All right. Then, yeah, Smokey, like towards bedtime, will do one more sending.
Okay.
And it's going to be to Lulu.
All right. Yep. You do see that for this time, Eldrin does not return. He'll be gone for more than just today. And the rest of you will be able to close out the evening as you wish. But if you all wish to just, let things progress as they naturally do, we can continue on as Smokey finishes up his message, and we go to the next day.
Okay. This one I didn't get a chance to start. Lulu, are you safe? We're planning to get you tomorrow. Where can we meet you that's safe? I assume you have the gold. Comments, questions, concerns?
All right. So Lulu replies quickly, "Darlings, yes, I have everything in check for you. I can meet you at the Trader's Hall if you'd like. If there's anything I can do..." But then it cuts off.
That was 25 words, shit.
That was 25 words.
All right. I don't have the capacity to send another one, so it's going to rest with that.
All right. So, each of you finding your own place to sleep in the keep, you make your way to the next day, fully restored with spell slots and hit dice, all raised back up. You have the time to prepare your spells, but for those of you who have things ready for the day, I know Varkesh is going to take himself back to the forge to try and do the final fixings for his armor.
Yes. Quick question, though. Not including my domain spells, how many spells at my level am I allowed to have again? Just so I don't...
It's your level plus your wisdom modifier.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
15.
Sweet.
But yes, since your domain spell, of course, is appropriately used, you make your way back to the forge. As you can see, that the dwarves are a little disappointed. Many of them are just wanting to have food, but they're just not really having any at the moment. So they're just kind of... Because no one went out to get anything.
Can't Varkesh make food and water?
I can, but I'll be burning a 5th level and a 3rd level to do that.
Why 5th?
Because I have to do whatever else the dwarves want me to do at the forge today. If it's fabricate or creation, it's either a 4th or a 5th I'll be having to burn.
Well, I mean, we're all together. So, I mean, what were we planning to do today? I mean, are
Rook's
we going?
not there.
Rook's not there. Okay. Where's Rook?
Having a tantrum, maybe.
He's probably still in his room. I don't know. I can try to go find
Did
him.
we assign rooms?
No.
Nope.
So.
I'll just
Smoky
walk
will-
around the castle
Yeah.
going, Rook!
All right, Rook, were you trying to be a little bit more secretive on your location?
Yeah, pretty much. Definitely not.
All right, make a
broadcasting
stealth
it
check. And the rest of you guys can make investigation checks.
all.
Criminy.
This will not go well.
That needs to be one higher because I
19.
haven't fixed my dex check yet.
Ugh.
My dexterity. It should
Oh, wait,
be...
I'll be at the forge. Never
So it
mind.
should actually be 19.
All right, which then is a 20, right?
No, it's
No,
19.
19.
You don't have the rogue thing where it's like you're an expert in that?
I do have the rogue thing. I didn't take expertise in it. If I did, it would be. If I did, it would be 13.
Oh, well.
As a base, but.
So, Smokey does eventually come across you.
Those cat-like instincts. Birds like to be high.
True. Birds like
So
to be high.
Smokey pokes his head. What does he see?
So Rook's there, and the entire bottle of wine is empty. He's still passed out.
Oh. Smokey will cautiously approach. Then, like, when he gets within 10 feet, he's like, wait. Backs up another 10 feet. Grabs, like, I don't know, a copper coin and, like, tosses it near the body so there's a ting, ting.
Sure. Ding, 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 ding.
If it didn't make contact, it's probably not going to wake him up.
Takes,
He's very perceptive, but still.
grabs, like, maybe a sliceable rock, like, maybe like this big. And
Okay,
just, like, tosses it at the body.
make a dexterity check.
Sure!
Yeah, that hits him.
Okay. The Rook blinks awake, stands up immediately, hand gone to where his hand crossbow normally would until he recognizes it as Smokey. Oh, looks around. Good morning, Smokey.
Good
Did
morning.
you need something?
Well, we were just gonna try to decide what we're gonna do today.
Yeah, alright.
All right, let's go.
The song "What Shall I Do Today? What Shall I Do?" It just goes in the head. But yeah, so you can make your way back as Varkesh. Are you going to just separate or stay with the party? Muted.
Sorry, I would have gone to the forge.
All right. When you arrived, the dwarves are. It seems to be they had it in shifts. They're a little grumpy because they haven't been fed or have any food or drink to give to them. But they have one person who's just in charge of making sure that the metal stays at a good temperature so that it remains at a nice, ready-to-use. But as you come in, they just park up a little bit and go, sorry, fine. Just getting themselves going as she wakes up and goes, oh, good morning to you. Are you ready?
Yes.
Right, so I need you to go ahead and forge for me, craft, create, whatever you can do to make this kind of mold here with nice solid stone. That way we can pour the adamantine in along with its recesses to form that nice tight-fitting suit.
Right. Okay.
Just follow the blueprint plans over here. And she gestures to the ones
So
that
what
you
do they
worked
look
on.
like?
It's the same that you worked on yesterday. It's the exact same large plated material that has a bit of the design that you could see the dwarven influence, but you made a few what look to be edits in there.
Okay.
But it is, yeah. So you can use
creation or fabrication?
that. Creation would be what you need for this.
Okay. I can do that. There you go, level 5 creation.
All right. So as you focus intently, using a bit of the stone that you have already from the side, you expand it out, and the creation creates what appears to be a large standing statue almost of Varkash in a nice heroic pose, and you can see the designed armor already made into this kind of intricate display, but at the same time you can see that there are holes and places for people to pour the metal inside so that it can be used to craft a casting for this armor. And as that's done, she looks at it and goes, "Impressive, lad. Yeah. Most of
Thank
those
you.
don't really have magic to create things like this. Where did you get yours from?"
I plead the 5th.
I see that you're holding something there every time you cast.
Yes, this is just a little trinket I use.
Is that a
It's good luck
symbol?
charm. Yes.
Alright, so who is it? What's the deity? I never recognized that one.
You probably won't recognize him, but he's the first dragon.
No, never heard
First
of him.
one, as I call him. Okay, but he's awesome. He's great.
Well, giving you the power you have so far, I won't deny it. So, well, albeit to you and your deity, I won't interfere.
I create a pamphlet and I hand it to her.
Right.
Join the church of the first one.
That's very, very nice of you, as she puts over her shoulder into the furnace. Let's get back to it, shall we?
I'm used to it.
So she and the rest of the dwarves begin to pour the hot adamantine correctly in, but you notice that it is not just adamantine this time. There's a very interesting mixture going on, and you can see that the thin amount that you used before to create a casing that went over your previous armor has somehow been infused with other pieces of the metal. You notice that some of the ingots are missing an interesting mix that looks like it combines some of the other elements of silver, gold, mithril, iron, steel. There's a very weird alloy that's being concocted, but with the right measurements and the skills of this craftsman, you can see that it is poured in and begins to solidify down into the actual casting. And as she waits and lets it cool for a bit, she goes, "Should be good enough. Break it apart, lads!" And you see them all take what appears to be tools, and they just start to hammer and break it away, eventually leading out what appears to be pieces of armor that are exposed that they start to pull off and away, and some take to their workbenches, beginning to hammer out and refine, polish and cut and cleave away some of those bits that were branching in to allow the pour to continuously reach every little piece, as they all begin a very tedious process of assembly and cleaning this armor that has been crafted. She looks at you.
Did they break the Varkash statue doing this? I
They
assume
did.
They would. That's upsetting.
It's only temporary. Don't worry. She does a tap on the shoulder. Where are the rest of your
She can
friends?
reach.
I thought others would be interested in watching.
I don't rightly know. That's a good point, actually. I need some clothes. I just realized I'm still naked. I'm just gonna peer out from the forge and just see if I can spot any of them through the window. Do I see any movement at all?
I mean, Smokey and
Windows.
Rook, you would have eventually been walking out in the courtyard, but Valindra, where are you at?
I mean, I probably would have gone down to the forge.
I would have tried to find Valindra once I found Rook.
Okay,
Yeah.
Valindra's
Oh,
at
so
the
we're all
forge.
here then.
All right.
Oh, hey, Valindra!
It's a very interesting process if you're watching, though. But yeah, eventually your party does reconvene as she looks and goes, "Oh, so they're all here. Nice to see you all. Did you bring any breakfast since you didn't have any supper for us?"
I already pre-clicked that. Because after it's all done, after I've created the thing that they asked for, I'll then create food and water.
Oh, well, thank you. That's exactly what we
Wave
did.
my hands in some generalized direction where stuff happens.
All right. The dwarves are going to be very quick to take advantage of that and eat whatever they can. Even though it's a bit tasteless, they want to fill their stomachs.
Okay.
Yeah, Smokey will also grab a bowl, just start.
Laughing
Podcast
at it like a
porridge.
cat in a bowl of milk.
Just watching him go, huh? What the fuck?
But at this time, you do notice that the metal that's being worked on is very unique compared to the rest. You saw Valindra, since you were there for the whole process of the heating, you noticed that one of the things that she did was she was very careful in being able to take the breastplate that Arad had worn and melted it down in a way that seemed to allow it to still retain its magical energies, and used it to infuse what appears to be Varkesh's new armor.
Wait, I thought she just took my stuff.
She melted your stuff down to separate the adamantine from the common steel. She didn't want that.
Oh, all right then.
So,
mean-
my breastplate.
so the breastplate was used in this process, and you can see that
Okay.
along with
Very
its
well.
enchanting properties, when this is going on, the melting process does seem to create what appears to be a brilliant kind of silvery, like, shine kind of metal. And as you look at it and as they twist it into the firelight, you can see what appears to be like an oiled sheen that just shimmers across occasionally. And as you stare at it for a moment, it reminds you like a little bit like dragon scale almost, just the way that it kind of catches. It looks like it's a scaling, and it's a very interesting thing to see. And all of those, you can all watch it and watch too, and see that like interesting little gleam that they do when they work on it. But you can see she focuses very intently on finishing, and as the big pieces are brought out, you see her take them to her own work table, and she begins a very quiet process of taking out some of the metal that was used for Arad's piece and infusing it what appears to be in etched runes that are on there, and she seems to start doing some low dwarvish chanting, and she's now putting in the final enchantments on the breastplate. And then you see her, after she finishes that, she takes out 2 scrolls from her back pocket and reads them, holds the energy in her hands as she traces more runes. She's continuously what appears to be infusing magic into this armor, giving it a very unique property as she continues to toil away at it for a while. You can watch if you wish, but you can see that she's going to be here for a little bit more, like 2 hours or 3.
Let's stick around.
Yeah, Smokey, like, seeing that Varkesh is not going anywhere, will just try and learn what he can as well, see if he can recognize any of the runes, that kind of thing.
Okay. All of you can make intelligence checks if you want to try and discern her process. Varkesh, you can do it with advantage since you are a forge cleric.
Oh, okay.
I'll throw it out of curiosity.
I doubt it was going to go very well, but fuck it.
Oh, if only it was swatched. All right, so Smokey and Varkesh, you get the general gist of what she's doing, but she seems to be infusing specifically some extra elements and taking on the already existing enchantment in some other items just to make it a faster crafting process. And as she begins to do this, during that time, the pieces begin to slowly assemble, and you can see that each one is made and almost in a way taken to Varkesh and affixed on to make sure that it fits just right, with a bit of a nod as the dwarves go throughout their process. It's like a weird metallic tailoring system of taking on and seeing, and then like taking it back and hammering out a bit more to make sure it fits just perfectly so.
Are they sticking still forge temperature hot metals against my chest to see if it fits?
No, they're not going to do it with hot temperatures.
Right,
It's a
just
little
making
warm.
sure.
It's a little
Just
warm to the touch, but with
making
your
sure.
resistance, it's not really bothersome to you. But after a time, the forge finishes, and you can see that as the pieces are left assembled on there, she nods with satisfaction and goes, "You're right. So, in honor of your dragon nature, I made sure to activate the word in the Dragonborn name. Would you like it? Did you wish to do it?
What is the name? What?
All you have to say is arm
In
in
my tongue?
Draconic."
Oh, okay. Right. And that would be...
I'll let you make it up if you wanted to, but I could always just give you a word.
No, I'm looking at the translator.
We're
Jira.
going technical. Jira?
Jira.
All right. So by you saying the words Jira, you notice that the items attuned to you begin to
Fly at me. Ah!
they begin to float occasionally, and you see them start to move piece by piece as they
Am
and assemble.
Am I Iron Manning here?
It's a little bit like that, yes. You can see what appears to be this almost different intelligence that is using it and watching it. Smokey, make an Arcana check.
His helm just smacks me.
And Varkesh, you can make an Arcana check. Rook, you may make one with disadvantage, and Valindra can make one flat.
I was picturing more a little bit more like Sailor Moon, but you know.
Oh, no.
Wait, can we do that instead?
Stand there twirling with a bit of dance, and it's ding.
Ribbons go across his chest.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
great.
poor Valindra.
He turns into a being of light.
I did good.
This is an Arcana check, by the way. Arcana checks.
Oh,
So if you have
so plus
proficiencies...
5. So I got.
Oh,
Ooh.
So
or
that's a
6,
29
whichever.
for me.
All right. So, Smokey and Rook, more or less. Varkesh takes you a little while to figure it out, because you're just more amazed as you watch this happening. You're just kind of standing there just going, oh.
I don't think I'd have time to concentrate,
But
seeing
yes,
as being attacked by metal.
Smokey, you watch and you realize, along with Rook, that what has happened is one of the infused elements she's done to the armor is she has placed in unseen servants that activate only to don and doff the armor. And with the pair of them working together, it halves the time.
And
So how far does the armor have to be together for that enchantment to work, or like is there a distance that they need to be within for it to activate?
As you ask that out loud, she looks at you and goes, "Oh, so you did catch on. Such a smart lad. As long as you're within 60 feet, it should be able to work. Now, of course, if you break yourself away from 60 feet at any time, you might have to reattune to it in order to make sure it properly fits back to you."
Interesting. I say as I dodge a gauntlet.
with that being an extended process there, but that being done by this other force, does he need to continue focusing on donning it himself, or is he free to take other actions and enter it?
He's free to stand there and let them finish up for him, as he's doing right now. As you see, Varkesh is just kind of like doing this weird flinching, but it just goes on to him. Eventually, the whole piece gets affixed to his body. It looks like a very intricate weaving of this silvered metal, this brilliant adamantine alloy that you can see that goes all across his body in such a perfect kind of puzzle fit piece. The closest way that you can imagine looking at it would be kind of like a 40k Terminator armor. Large and massive and plated around to really accent the form, but still have a bit of dwarven elements to it, as large pauldrons cap off his shoulders, one with a majestic looking draconic head that seems to be fixed right there, as he has what appears to be an open slot in the center, and as it sits there, one of the unseen servants picks up his medallion, and you can see it slide into place as it settles inside this little cavity that was meant for it. As you can see him fully decked out in what this appears to be this massive bulk.
But AJ doesn't have the Batman nipples.
Wait, Batman nipples?
The Batman nipples.
The Batman nipples.
Yes.
Sadly, it is not like a clothy Kevlar, but it is a very solid
nipples.
piece. Varkesh, you are currently wearing what is a magic item considered Dwarven Plate. The Dwarven Plate will give you +2 to your armor, and it will allow you to use as a reaction the ability to resist shoves. Anytime a creature would force you to move, either from knockbacks or pulls or pushes, you can use that to reduce it by 10 feet.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, you're welcome. You see, now that's craftsmanship. You see, she nudges that
Don't
Valindra.
rub it in.
That's the good shit right there. Needs a woman's touch, don't you think?
Yeah, no, dwarven people do have a way with armor, and women do have a special touch.
Aye, see? She knows what they're all about. So then, if you don't mind, considering that we have our debt paid to you and thanks for your help and hospitality, we'll go ahead and just start setting up our own works here. Try to maybe get some of our tools recrafted. This shoddy shit that we're using right now is rather crude. Rather get some more refined hammers.
Sure. And actually, I had another idea while I was sleeping. How are you guys at making wands?
Wands are not my specialty per se, but I think, if I have to say probably the one who has it, it'd probably be Kudrik! As she says that name, the other dwarves kind of laugh a little bit and goes, don't mess with me. I'm more than just a simple dwarf. And he just kind of like tries to back away into the corner to not be shamed. She goes, sorry.
There's a wave of wands, huh?
Goodric Flintspine is a little bit of a more delicate dwarf.
Well, I mean, my friend Valindra there, one of her favorite spells is Magic Missile, and I know that there's a pretty basic wand that is a wand of magic missiles that I've heard about.
Ah, yes, that wand is familiar to us. We could try. If you want us to start it from scratch, it would be a little bit more time, but if you have a magic item already that we could break down and infuse it into this, then we could.
Use the Lich Wand.
Do you say that out loud?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, that'd be great.
yeah. I mean, and he'll pull out the immovable rod. I mean, this is magical. I don't think it's the same type of magic, though.
That wouldn't necessarily be the right kind. We need something a bit more offensive, evocation-based.
None of my stuff, then.
That's fine.
Well-
if you have the same school of magic that is able to be manipulated, I can work with that.
Well, aren't we going to go meet up with Lulu in the Traders Hall? I'm sure we can find something there.
Yeah, possibly. But yeah, I was just asking again.
Oh, Smokey, take this. I open up my bag of holding again, and I take out the drift globe and go, I don't really need it anymore, and you might like it, so that you can probably do all the spying stuff on your brother and sister.
Yeah, this will be great. But I mean, I don't really have anywhere to put it. I mean, isn't it like
You have a
kinda
backpack,
big?
right?
It's not ridiculously huge. It's probably about this big.
Okay. All right. I mean, I haven't had a chance to learn the spell yet and add it to my book because I've been very, had to scrimp and save on what spells I could transfer. But hopefully that problem will get solved today.
Money.
Yeah. I actually contacted Lulu and she said that the money came through for the contract.
Ooh.
So I was hoping that we could all go back to Trilac, collect everything we needed, and that, including like food and beer, ale for our new companions.
Hey, they're all cheering for that as you say the beer and ale.
Okay. But yeah, if you guys think that's a good idea, I mean, I can get us there and back, but that'd be most of my high level stuff.
Can you?
Yeah.
You can get us to Trilac.
Oh. Actually, now that I think
Oh, that sucks.
we'd have to go back, I think, to your temple there.
Temple, and then walk the rest of the way.
Yeah.
I miss Steamboat Winnie.
I mean, we could maybe ask about different circle, like configurations when we're in the guild hall. I don't know if those are available for a price or that kind of thing.
Mm.
But I can get us back.
Sweet.
What do you guys think?
It needs to be done. We can't leave these folks here starving forever.
I agree with that. How long are you going to be?
How long did the walk? I mean, we got to the forest, so we know how long that walk is. Probably a few hours.
4
and then
hours.
Just
Yep.
tack on a few more to get to.
More than that.
Wouldn't it be like 2 days or something, given all the map
Nearly.
distance that we
It would take you
Oh.
1 day at least to get past the forest and to the border of where the lake is, and about a good better part of half the day before you reach Trilac.
Well,
It's better than walking from here to Trilac.
so there's that.
Something I think we should also bear in mind is that as soon as we leave this area, we will no longer be under protection against scrying magics.
That is true. I mean, I do if I can have one of those gems that we got from the chest, I can make us untraceable while we travel, and then
How?
well, that spell non-detection that I learned, I can use it to make one person undetectable by any divination magic for 8 hours.
That would be extremely handy.
It's about 25 gold worth of diamond per casting, though.
I think it's well worth it, honestly. We're going to be moving about outside for some time, and they still have ways to view us whenever. Although, I really do believe we should consider if there's a more permanent way to do it without draining resources constantly. And
Well, and I'll actually
what
turn
do you
to...
know of any ways?
Yeah,
Because no one's ever told me her name.
You're talking to the female dwarf.
Degra.
Yes.
Yeah. She looks at you and goes, I could infuse it if you had the item. Do you have something that can do that?
Well, we're about to make a shopping trip, so I'm sure
Actually, we do. Kind
do
of.
we?
Yeah, the thing that protects this place.
No, we're not using that up. That has to stay in place.
Well, we're not using it up, but I mean, if you see something that kind of has the effect that we want, that's a good starting place, right?
Lad, I can absolutely take any item you give me and melt it down to reforge it into something else.
Well, that's a no, but
I think the Traders Hall might provide a better option.
okay.
Well, let's see if we can purchase some pre-made.
Okay.
Something along those lines.
All right. So, you make your way where?
Wait, what? I mean, how are they supposed to
Survive.
survive?
I mean, Eldarin is supposed to be coming back. I had hoped he'd be back by nightfall, but apparently not.
And I made enough. I definitely made enough food, and there's definitely enough left over. That should tide them over for the day, and that should
Won't
tide them
that
over for.
disappear at the end of the day?
I
think
will.
so. 24 hours.
24 hours.
The water is clean and doesn't go bad for 24 hours.
But you do know that there's... if you guys don't pig out on anything, they might be able to stretch it for at least a day and a bit.
Well, if we're going to leave, we're going to tell them to ration it out a little bit
It will only last
And
for
it-
24 hours.
and
Yeah,
to
and it-
feed the
and it-
kobolds.
It feeds up to 15 humanoids, and so that should be okay.
Yeah, but
And-
you so far have fed 9... Well, if you're going to feed the kobolds as well, 9
Yep.
plus you 4. It's going to be 13.
I just shout
For
out.
24 hours.
I would have gone and
Yeah.
ran into the kitchen somewhere quickly and told the kobolds about there is food out near the blacksmith. Just leave the dwarfs alone and stay in the kitchen.
The kitchen is
Don't-
pristine clean.
Oh damn! I mean,
And as you come in, you can see that they are just more beamed with joy as they immediately start looking at you and just going, "Oh, please do it good, do it good, do it good." In Draconic, very quick, just trying to like mix it up. As they're looking at you, they're kind of also shifting to make sure that they're behind you. As little Winnie is still standing there watching them. The
is she
intent.
like kind of like in an observer's chair with like a little riding crop? Just-
It's Winnie, not Valindra. So you can
I
see
did say
Yeah, no,
Winnie,
I
didn't
mean,
I?
the question stands.
Winnie's a boy.
Sure.
But yeah, so
Wait,
Winnie.
is it? I thought Winnie was a girl.
Winnie's a boy.
No, fair enough.
and
Thanks for listening. Jeez.
and Winnie is
Well, I'm sorry.
Winnie is sitting there, almost kind of like that perfect cat statue, just like perked up, really like staring, not blinking, ears just fixed and big, just staring down the kobolds. It's
The
kind of
smug
creepy.
look. Okay, well, good job, lads. It's pretty clean.
Food.
Yep, in the blacksmith area. Damn, this is a clean
They all
kitchen.
just kind of shuffle off as they make their way to get to food.
Don't annoy the dwarfs.
Yeah.
I'm
Maybe
gonna
you,
walk
should
back
give,
to the front.
maybe you should give them a task for while we're gone. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like a big task.
And maybe tell them we'll be gone as well.
Do you
Yeah, we
think
could-
that they could manage hunting and bringing something back?
I don't think I would trust that.
I'm not risking my kobolds outside the castle. Well, we're all at the forge anyway, so we could tell them that they could spend all day cleaning the rest of the castle, keeps them busy, and that we'll be back. If that's all right with everyone else.
I think that'd be great.
Sweet. Come back to a clean house.
Is there anything else you guys can think of before we head out?
No, not that I can think of.
Make sure I have. Wait, do I not have that learned?
Do you think while we're kind of out, if we need to get food back to them, I mean, can you open the teleportation circle and just push food through?
Yes.
Yeah, I could do that actually.
Okay, so you could tell them to occasionally check the transportation tower for fresh food or supplies.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this temple is out in the middle of the woodlands. We could do some foraging along the way.
Sweet.
Okay.
We have a plan.
We're not
Bless
going
you.
to kill our first followers.
Hooray.
So, out of character, just as a side mention here, you may want to designate this area as a sanctuary as well, just in case we ever get separated from Smokey for any reason.
I have to have a place of worship.
Well, you
We can make
make
that
one.
happen. It's just something we can do down the line.
What do
Yeah.
you need?
I mean, I have to make basically like a little temple or a shrine of some kind, some place to worship. I was gonna go and do it, but I was just like kind of preoccupied with Forge Dwarfs. So
Of course,
when
if
we
he
come
did,
back,
if he did that, you wouldn't be able to teleport all the way where you're going to now.
true.
Yep.
Oh, you can only have one at a time.
One at a time
Plus, you can't actually teleport into the place. It'd be
at the tower,
yeah.
Yeah.
Your place of worship is the teleport tower.
which he has to get across the high crossway to get to. Perfect place for the Varkash. All right.
Yeah.
But yes, so
Sweet.
what do you wish to do? The dwarves have been fed. They seem to be busy making sure that their place is going to work as fine as they can. The kobolds are nom on all their food.
Sweet. Ready to go?
I think.
All right.
Excellent.
So-
All join hands.
Okay. You'll have to leave the
Yes, naturally.
Yeah.
So you'll have to cross the walkway
You have to go all the way across the walkway. It's not just the door.
all the way across. Oh, at least halfway.
Sure.
Fuck it, I'm just gonna run up there and just run across the bridge, just not looking at anything else.
Okay.
God damn it!
Please make a survival check.
Well, no, don't tell me I panic and fall off.
I just want to make sure you don't roll in that one. Just veer.
Oh, criminy.
No.
Hey.
You don't veer. You go straight line to the doors,
Thank God for that.
making it
Is
safely
how-
to the other side.
How high is that drop? You said that was like 100-foot drop or something?
Plus, yes, it's more like
Oh,
200
plus.
feet.
Right, so thank fuck I didn't fall.
But yes, you make it to the other side as you have your allies with you. In the morning, not more than about 3 hours in, you get yourself ready to teleport back to the ruined temple. So, is that what you do? Link arms?
Yeah, just there we go.
All right.
Wonder-
Linking your allies
we go.
together, you each grab hold as Varkish once more pulls you into that very tight, compressed space as you shoot through this blinding white tunnel, eventually once more emerging in the ruined cave that you can see around you. The air is still damp and moist. The outside is probably just fresh from a storm, but everything seems calm and fine so far.
Dwarven Armor's +2 or +3, just quickly.
2.
+2.
Oh, I have 24 AC.
Crazy.
Are you putting
Well,
your...
You can't enchant your armor because it's magical now, though.
Yes.
Are you putting the +1 on your mace or on someone else?
I'll put it on my shield.
That works.
Yeah, that works. All right.
All right. So as we arrive, I will gather everyone. Okay, everyone. So we're gonna do this spell, and it lasts for 8 hours. So that's gonna be our travel time, and after that, we should probably just pick a place to rest, and I'll cast non-detection, and we'll be all set. Everyone okay? Okay. So I use 3 third-level slots and 1 fourth-level slot and 100 gold worth of diamond to cast this mother effing spell 4 times.
It's a shame you can't upcast it, but yeah.
No!
I know. So shitty. But yeah, Smokey, taking a very heavy cost to himself, eventually spreads out the spell, and each of you feel this almost this weird slippery aura get across you. And you all feel a little bit more secure as you make your way outside the cave, confident that you cannot be detected by magical means.
And we're heading to...
All right, whoever's taking the lead, make a survival check.
I would know the area, right?
You would know
We
it
have
better. Yeah, you
We
can
made
make
this
it.
trail before, too.
You did. You can make
Yes.
it with advantage, Orkesh.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm gonna roll die of inspiration.
Okay.
Hey!
Good idea.
Good Lord, that was that was fucking
oh,
awful.
that's oh, there we go.
Jesus.
Much better.
It's like
much,
night and day.
much better. So, eventually...
And along the path, Rook's also looking out for options for small game to start, like, hunting in order to send back through a teleportation circle at a later time.
Sure. So, you make your way down, heading towards the direction you know that would lead to Trilak, following the ravine and making your way from the forest all the way across to the valley. You eventually make it to the very similar destination that you once were before, where you veered off to the right to the little base camp that your father had. At this time, while you're traveling as carefully as you can, Rook, your keen senses are able to pick up something, and as you look off to the side to try and see if perhaps you found a game, a deer or bear, something to kill, you instead see a bugbear, armed, and looking around and hunting in the forest. You're not sure what for, but he's searching.
A tap at everybody. Everybody down. There's a bugbear.
Everyone make a stealth check. Varkesh with disadvantage. Ooh, good on Rook.
20.
All right. So, with inspiration burned, Varkesh, you hear that and you're just like, "Oh, I better duck down." Not quite used to the fact that this plate is rather big. You try to duck and get close, but the heavy armor just gets stuck into a tree and you're just like, and you try to get it off. And as that happens, the bugbear turns and sees you. And that's where we're going to go on break, as we guys will come back with you in combat, as you have now been discovered. So we're going to go ahead and take this time for the players to get themselves drinks, some bathroom breaks, and other necessities before we return to see what they might have uncovered as they made their way, attempting to pass by the base. So,
In the future, I'm walking a mile behind.
So we'll be back shortly, guys. See you in a little bit.
Oh, I didn't know we were passing the base.
Okay, and we are back as the players have stumbled into what appears to be a scouting bugbear that has been looking for something or someone, and has seemed to have found a rather large, bumbling dragonborn in massive plate armor.
Not Dragonborn for the last time.
In his mind, he thinks dragonborn.
Son
He,
of a bitch.
he
I'll teach him.
thinks Dovahkiin.
Dovahkiin.
But yes. So, he spots you at the moment, and during that time, we will have ourselves roll for initiative, as we have everything begin to set up. Ooh, not too bad, not too
God
bad.
damn, 17. Nice.
Not great, not great.
Ah, darn.
Hopefully it isn't just one enemy. I mean, I should not say much,
What?
but still.
I totally clicked on my thing.
I
There it
totally
is.
clicked on my thing. I
Ah,
totally did.
totally.
I did.
I totally did it. That's just...
I swear.
Roll 20, be lying. Alright, the bugbear, let's see.
Where's Rook?
Okay.
There he is.
Alright, well, perfect timing, because the thing is going to go last. Pretty darn sure.
We're fine with that. 24.
Roll initiative. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I got
He
it.
did.
Perfect.
Damn, I
Alright.
thought I was gonna go first this time.
Sorry, I gotta ruin everything.
Alright.
It's fine though. Who cares?
Okay.
It's a rogue
So,
thing.
the bugbear rolled a shit.
Yeah, no doubt.
Rolled worse than Valindra. Alright. So, he is... Sorry, I'll just put him right here. He's slightly behind the trees as he's looking, and he spotted you, Varkesh, specifically. The rest of your party tried to hunker down and sneak off away without being noticed. At this time, Rook! You see him just alerted, but he doesn't see necessarily you.
Okay, so which one's alerted right now, or is it all of them?
There's only one.
You only see one at the moment.
Okay.
Oh.
For the
Really
reference, is it that
simple.
one over there?
That is correct.
Okay, let me check something real quick. 40 feet. Okay.
Ow, my back.
Well, I would need to get closer in order to do anything about this. I don't really see anything that I can use as cover to move up on him, though, so... That being the case, I'm gonna move... Noting that we've definitely been noticed, I'm going to completely disregard any efforts to stealth at this point. Move forward about
It's all
50
stuff though,
feet
aren't you?
here.
He's at the moment where he's situated, he's stealthed.
Yes, there's no way to maintain stealth and moving across an open field, unfortunately.
Mm.
Unless you can end your turn
No.
somewhere else with stealth. But yeah, I'll move 20 feet this way.
Okay.
I'm gonna get closer to the target, and I'm going to go ahead and try to insightful fighting it as a bonus action.
Alright, as you try to discern the weakness of the creature with a -1 charisma. Yeah,
20.
you got very well. Yes, you get the sense. He's wearing crude metal-pieced armor.
Basically.
And without hesitation, take a shot. Well, I don't really have any regular bolts at this point, so I'll have to do that with one of my silver-tipped bolts.
Alright, with a silver-tipped bolt loaded into the crossbow, you... Ooh! Oh, boy! Oh,
Nice.
dear! Oh, that might kill him. Oh, shit.
Sorry, buddy.
Oof.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's a total of 9 plus 17, 26 plus 23, 49 plus 21, 70 points of damage.
Okay, wow. Yeah, so, as Rook gets really close, you see him lock it and fire, and as it goes right inside the heart, you can see the beast just stare at it and go, and fall over back dead like that.
And I have 10 more feet of movement, so I'm just going to use them to move just a bit closer to where we dropped him, and that'll end my turn.
Okay, Varkesh, a death cry was heard, but it toppled.
I'm just gonna move forward. I guess that's fuck all I could do.
Okay, no casting anything?
Not yet.
Okay.
I will move 30 feet and I will hold an action,
What action you
and
will
that action will be Beacon of Hope, just in case, only if enemies show up.
do? Alright.
A lot of them.
Oh.
And they're powerful because I don't want to waste.
Once you hold the spell, you actually are casting it.
No.
So
Fine, I'll still do so anyway.
okay. If you do that, you get to basically like extend it an extra round because you haven't released it. So basically, it lets it last a little longer. Smokey.
Seeing him go down and trusting in his own stealth, he's gonna stay where he is, and he's gonna try and do a perception check to make sure if there's not any others.
Make a perception check.
Boo! 24.
All right. As you listen very intently, you hear that after the death cry comes out, there's a bit of a shuffling in the bushes to the right of you as you turn to look to the southwest.
West is left. Okay, and I will look back at Valindra and I'll just like motion her that way. And Smokey will take like his half movement to like move over here.
Oh, right in the way of it. Okay.
Well, I mean, he doesn't. So he just heard it. He didn't actually see anything.
Sure, but you're getting closer to the sound.
He's getting, yeah. Barkesh just yelled at him for getting too close to things. Smokey
Just have to listen to Varkesh. I'm just saying.
Smokey will go like this angle to stay behind the tree, but
All right.
getting slightly a better view.
Sure. Keeping low. Valindra.
Do I see anything that he's pointing at?
Make a perception check. Ooh. No, not at the moment. Sorry.
I almost asked if it was with advantage because Smokey pointed in the direction, but then I was like, nah. Sweet. I will do nothing.
All
I
right.
will sit and stare in the direction.
No holding in action?
Why would she?
Dude, hold an Eldritch
Yeah,
Blast.
I don't see anything or hear anything. I don't.
Smokey said there was something
I'll
coming.
hold Eldritch Blast in case something comes out.
Okay, so during that time, as the one fell and a bit of a sound came from its mouth as it died, a little bit of an alert went out, and you can hear that off to the side, Rook, behind you, there's a scuffling and some sounds. You hear what appears to be footprints just going into the dirt, and some sounds of some weird language that you don't understand. Smokey does, where it says, "Look, over there!" It's Goblin.
Yeah.
And you also hear what appears to be a sound of a larger creature just going... It's getting closer, and as it begins to make its way into the location, you can see what appears to be a large creature mixed with a different kind of animal body parts associated to it. Wings, a head of a dragon, a head of some kind of goat, and a lion. As it makes its way forward, you can see that there is a chained collar around it, and two bugbears easily trying to keep pace with it as it's running, and they see what appears to be Valindra holding an Eldritch Blast.
And a bottle of some sort of liquid. Chugging.
I'm just straight chugging NyQuil right now.
Oh no.
But yes, you can see them, Valindra,
Oh,
off
good,
into the
a Chimera.
distance. There they are.
Okay.
All right.
Good, not bad.
shot.
Ooh, who are you aiming for?
Well, a chimera.
Oh, the Chimera. Okay, so I'm
It's
pretty
the
sure all but
biggest
the last one hit.
advantage.
Oh, the last one hits too.
Oh, nice.
Their ACs are shit.
Yep, you hit it. Each one dealing... nice. All right, a total
14
of 14 damage. Not bad, not bad.
Um,
As you release these 3 quick bolts that impact the creature.
Just before people move out of the way, I would then release my action.
All right, holding out and blowing out the beacon of hope. As everyone has advantage on their death saving throws and wisdom saves, and all healing is at max.
Good buff.
Good time, good time. All right. The creature just comes in. This is their entire movement to run into this play. As they finally make it here, they will make their initiative roll, but I'm pretty sure they do not beat Rook. So, Rook, what do you want to do?
All right. Well. So, do I see anything yet?
You hear it.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move 20 feet to hunker down behind this rock right here and take a hide action.
All right, go ahead and make a stealth check for me.
All right. 22.
You feel pretty stealthy as you duck down and get yourself behind the boulder, waiting for something
well,
to emerge.
Yeah, I'll set that to be my bonus action, actually, because I can do that as a rogue.
Yes.
And then I'll hold my action to fire my crossbow at the first hostile creature that comes around the corner.
Perfect, perfect. As you get your bolt just ready and you aim it across the stone, just getting your shot lined up just right. Varkesh.
Ooh, okay. While Rook is going to do stealthy, I'm going to move myself into the open area and make a complete, utter spectacle of myself to draw their attention. And I shall do so by just waving my hands like a complete tit in a trance.
Okay. Just trying to be a good distraction.
Oh yes, to try and lure them to me.
Make a performance check for me real quick.
Okay, give it a shot. A performance check. That's in my spells. Never mind. Performance. Why does not do that?
No, we don't see it.
Not
What
yet,
was it?
yeah. I'm not
Really? You
seeing
don't
it.
see it?
No.
It's been a thing with Roll20. It happened all of Tuesday, too.
It's 12 and a 14.
Oh, there it is. All right, 12. All right, as you get your big, massive self right in the way, just kind of going, me! Go for me! Ooh. Tasty metal tin can right here. Ting, 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 ting.
Am I very at all?
Yeah, I know. Trying to pull on that goat senses to chew the can.
Big
You
can of
really try to
peaches.
get it to go to you. Smokey, what do you want to do?
Ooh, what does he want to do? Let's check range really quick. Oh, only 45 feet away. Oh, it's 30 feet. Okay. Smokey is going to hold a charm person spell at level 2, and he's going to try and throw it at the 2 bugbears when they get within 30 feet of him.
Oh, okay. So holding your action and getting ready to charm the 2 that start to approach, you wait. Well, before Valindra.
Still hiding.
Yeah, you're still hiding. Yeah, it doesn't see you. It sees Varkesh. Varkesh is pretty much an obvious target, along with Valindra. But Varkesh being in the most direct path for it to be able to reach something to bite on, it's going to go ahead and instead of going straight to Varkesh, it goes and you see as it makes its way forward, as it's been running, its wings, and it flaps and goes over the ridge to the right.
Cheating son of a bitch.
And it lands right there. Rook! The creature just emerged, and it just landed right next to you. It's coming down. Do you want to fire?
Boy, yep.
All right, fire away.
Action, so I have to. All right, so this is with advantage.
That hits.
28 to hit, and that will get sneak attack. Well, I don't.
Yeah, you were sneak. You were hidden.
Yeah.
You were totally hidden. Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. So that's gonna be 14 plus 20. Well, is it affected by poison?
It is affected by poison.
Sweet. So that's
36.
36 points.
Very
of damage.
nice. You let off a very nasty sting to its rear, and as it lands, it just kind of rears back and sees you, surprised that you were there. But as it turns, the dragon head looks over towards Varkesh and goes and breathes out fire towards you. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, and all those within the 15-foot cone. All right, doesn't go that far, so it doesn't reach anyone else.
Alrighty.
A dex save, right?
Dex save.
Oops.
That is a fail, so you will take the full 7d8
I will
fire
take
damage.
the half because I'm a forge cleric. And I
Well,
have
luckily for you, you
resistance
get
to
that
flame.
half, yes.
78.
78,
That's
so
nasty.
it is going to be a total of 35, halved to 17 fire damage to you, Varkesh. I need you to make a concentration check for me, please, as you try to hold the Beacon of Hope.
Constipation saving throw. Okay.
All the C words. Ooh,
Oh, no!
shit.
Die of inspiration would be good.
No, not available right now. So sadly, the fire catches you off guard as it billows past you, and you lose concentration of the Beacon of Hope. Unfortunately,
bollocks.
as it just drops, you can see the creature uses its other head as it turns and rears up towards Rook, slashing at it with claws and ramming at it with the horns. So it is going to go ahead and attack Rook twice.
Such is life.
So
Waste of
the
a third
horns
level.
for you, Rook, is gonna 11 to miss, I bet.
That does indeed miss.
And the claws will it will also miss.
also miss.
Lucky for you, the bird is too dodgy.
Boy.
But yes, at this time, the bugbear... Oh no, Valindra!
I I will bonus action Hex the Chimera.
All right.
And I will Eldritch Blast it.
All right, blasting and into there. Go ahead, fire away. Ooh!
Ooh.
Yes, all 3 hit. The first one being a natural 20. Either way you slice it. Ooh. 24 damage with not... Okay, and there's the hex.
Do it one more time, yeah.
Ooh.
17 more.
Oh my god, that's going to be 36 plus 5 is 41. Oh! That is nasty. So you see those bolts go out, and as the first one goes and strikes, you go right towards the head that Varkesh had been just breathed upon. And doing that little trick that Varkesh had done before with a dragon, instead of directing it towards its head, you direct it right into the mouth. As you see it breathe out, it rears back as it jams it straight inside its soft throat, critically hitting it. Nasty. And the other 2 heads just taking boom damage on side. The creature looks pretty hurt. And the bugbears press forward.
How far?
15, 20, 25. They get to there.
All right, they're both in range. I will release my spell.
All right, as you release it, they make a wisdom saving throw.
Both will be a wisdom saving throw. I think they do have advantage because they are combat ready.
All right, so let's see. We got 18
Ooh,
and
just passes.
14.
That one will fail.
All right, the one at the bottom seems to be charmed by you.
And can I tell if my spell took which one is which?
Yes.
Okay. I will yell out now that I've broken my cover. Don't hit the bottom one. Don't hit the one I'm pointing to.
Okay. We'll just don't hit the one I'm pointing to. The creature is charmed and sees you as an ally, and it does not want to hurt you, so it's going to go to Varkesh. And it's going to fling its spear at him. So it's going to throw the javelin at you. Miss. The other one flings it towards Smokey as he saw the spell come off, and he's just like, yeah, and tries to get the wizard that tried to nail him with the spell. 7.
Oh.
Sadly for it, it did not do a good job, and so it seems to be failing miserably. At this time, Rook, at the top of the round, you can hear more sounds. This time, they're coming from the north, as more of these rustling leaves begin to disturb the forest, and as you look up, you can see what appears to be another set of bugbear with a chimera ready in tow, looking for the party and seeing Smokey right there, ready to eat and devour.
Bitch.
Oh, another one. Great.
Rook, what do you want to do?
Oh, well, call out more to the north, and then try to go ahead and take a shot at the fella right in front of me.
Go right ahead and fire away.
Alright. Ooh,
Ooh, that misses. Unless you choose to flank, which you didn't.
bad. Yeah, and I didn't think to do that ahead of time, so I did not. I will... Running my tactical error prior, I'll go ahead and flank and use my bonus action to shoot again.
All right, getting yourself into a better position. You're just like, shit, and you natural 20. All right. I know you sticky little rogue. You just made a nasty piece of damage. It only has 23 hit points. Your natural sneak would just knock it out. That thing is, it's gone.
Anyway, yeah,
It is gone. The first one, you just kind of get yourself flicked away from it, but you're just like, oh, stupid feline. As you get around to the edge, you just see as it turns its lion head towards you. You see it opening its mouth again. You sink it right inside. It just kind of goes, embeds into the skull and comes out, the core of it being broken apart as the rest feel death take hold and they start to fall.
Right, and then I'm going to move 10 feet forward, point to the general direction of these two bugbear and say, "You're next," in an effort to attempt to scare them off.
Okay.
And I just felled these fuckers.
Make an
immediately.
intimidation check with disadvantage.
Alright, it's going to be at least 16, either way. 16.
16. They are intimidated by you, absolutely. But when you mention just like the beast behind you as evidence, they kind of chuckle a little bit. Varkesh, what do you want to do?
That doesn't make any sense, but okay.
They just chuckle?
Chuckle a little bit.
There's more coming.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. I guess that works, I suppose. So I'm going to go over to the one that Smokey did not point to and smack it across the face
Okay.
with a mace.
All right, going up and ready to give it 1-2. You swing. That hits. 24. Oh, yeah. Smack it hard.
Smack it hard with a 4.
You fire damage on top with your
And-
Forge Cleric.
Yeah. D8. Wow.
Ooh,
Okay.
sadly, the fire was more of a sizzle as you got him, but it did a little bit of extra damage.
So I'm being scolded by a warm spoon.
But you still did a nasty little bludgeon to his head as he just rears back a little bit and has to readjust himself and shaking his head.
Go over and go, no.
You booped him.
I booped him on the nudes.
The schnoot.
Smokey, what do you wish to do?
Seeing these guys.
Hello, my bugbear friends.
Would you say they're actively aware that there's a threat?
Who? You, Smokey?
The ones on the ridge.
Oh, yeah, they see you.
Oh, there you go. So charm person, I could try and charm every freaking bugbear we see and not have any consequences because there's no concentration. Do I wanna? Or is this chimera chained up?
You can
to
see
them.
that there is a chain collar around it, and as it's getting there, the bugbears have held on to it, but it's a loose hold. They're ready to let it go.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try another charm person on those two.
Okay.
Level 2 for both of them. They're both within 30 feet.
All right,
So-
with their wisdom saving throws, we have a 9 and a 13. Both fail.
All right, both under my thrall, as well as the third now. I will yell, hold the Chimera. We're new to the recruitment. We're just another scouting party.
Okay. Trying to distract them and maybe perhaps get them to hesitate to not let the creature loose.
Yeah.
Do you move?
I will try to casually walk over here. Away.
Okay.
From
All right.
creature.
You casually walk in a life and death scenario.
30. That's all I got.
All right, okay, great. As you try to step away, the creature itself was ready to pounce and is still going to try to tug against the chains as it's making its way to try and move towards you. It's slightly held back, but let's see if it can break free from its opponents. Just in its natural movement. It's just trying to keep going as they're like ready to let go. So they're not just trying to hold on to it to prevent it from flying away towards you. So it is going to make its strength and it's going to make a 20 to leave. But the bugbears themselves will try to hold fast.
Advantage, because it's teamwork.
Yeah, I can do advantage or individually. Which one do you think?
I'd say advantage.
Advantage. All right. With the advantage, they're 16.
They tried.
They tried, but sadly, the Chimera is too bloodthirsty, and it is going to break free, and the wings flap up as it flies high into the air. 20, 25, 30, 35.
Smokey, free action will say, they're charmed too!
They're charmed to 40. It lands, and as it lands, the dragon first comes out and wreathes a fire towards you and Valindra, just keeping you on the edge of that 15-foot blast out. I need both of you to make dexterity saving throws, please.
All right.
Oh, nice. Nice. You both pass, taking half and half again, of course, because of your fire resistance. You will take, instead of 29, half that from 28, 14, 7. You both take 7.
I'll take nothing.
You'll take nothing. Oh, because you warded it. Well, your ward took it for you. And then it steps right into combat damage with both of you. The heads reaching out on either side to bite and claw. Or actually, no, it's going to be to claw and to horn. The ram is going to try and plow its head towards Smokey.
But I'm so fluffy.
As the horns, 20.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and shield that.
All right, as you fling up an arcane shield to deflect the blow just in time, barely giving you enough armor to make sure you are not scathed by this attack, as the claws go towards Valindra. 16. Fortunately for you, your armor protects you from being just scraped across by these wicked claws, and the creature itself is staying there. However, Rook, at this time, the creature behind you begins to stir. As you look and you can see the flesh is slowly knitting back together and coming once more to a full, healthy beast. And as it looks up from behind, let's see if it gets its thing back. It does.
Bob Webb.
Oh.
So it is going to maneuver slightly onto the cliffs here and direct its blasts in that direction. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Come on, Rogue.
Luckily, Rogue, you're pretty good. Oh, no.
Still halved and halved again. But yeah.
Yep, halved again, but yeah, sadly, you do take...
Ooh.
So, oh, not that bad. So 25 halved is going to be 12, halved 6. You take 6 fire damage as the Chimera comes in and once more tries to ram you and claw you. 20 for the ram horn.
That'll hit.
And 25. I'm assuming you want to reaction the first one?
Yeah.
Alright, only taking 5 as you use your uncanny dodge to get just out of the way to tumble roll and make yourself a little safe from that impact, as you only take 5 and 8 from that. You can see that the creature, it's still hurt, but the damage you did wasn't enough to keep it down. Valindra, it's your turn.
Is it? I thought it was mine.
Um,
I'm after Rook.
no, Rook just took this
That was
because
his reaction.
the creatures just broke free from the bugbears and landed, and the other one, since it
Right.
wasn't thoroughly done.
Gotcha.
I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast the one that got back up again.
All right, go ahead and fire away.
Disadvantage.
It stood up.
Well, no, because she's next to a melee combatant, and it's a ranged spell.
Really,
No,
against a
she's
target
doing it-
from another... Oh, wait, no, she's doing the one that just got up. The one with the hex.
Rules as written is that if there's a combatant within your melee space and you use a ranged weapon against anything, you have disadvantage because something will interfere.
Ooh. Well, that's mean. Valindra, do you want to move to not get disadvantage? Okay, you go ahead
Yeah,
and step.
sure.
You step away as the Chimera will then try to slash at you. 17. It fails, giving Valindra that natural 20 that she so deserves. But luckily for you, the nat 20, I'm pretty sure will do it, so fire that first one. Okay, yeah. The first one, including with the hex damage that comes with it, it keeps the creature once more back into the ground as it knocks itself down, and it looks to be still and unmoving. The remaining 2 Eldritch Blasts you can redirect.
No, I'm gonna hit it again because it went down once already and it wasn't enough.
All right,
so.
focusing, you just... Those 2 blasts hit the corpse, and you can see it just impact. It doesn't stir. Yeah, with the nice bleeding necrotic damage to try and decay the flesh.
Okay, hold.
We go eventually to the bugbears.
I think she wants to do something.
She wants to do something? What does she want to do?
You still have to move too.
Oh, thank you for the follow! 12 for 10 cents.
Never
Onyx or
mind.
Vaughn?
I was going to say, I don't think you can get many things for 12 for 10 cents nowadays.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do anything else.
Alright, keeping yourself stationed right there. You moved 5 feet away from the creature, though, right?
Ooh, wait. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, whichever square you wish to take up for that movement. Oh, more than 5 feet. Alright, looking at behind Smokey. Kitty cat protection. Alright.
Well, so that I can do disadvantage on the next attack.
Alright, nice. So, the bugbears, they seem to be persuaded by you, Smokey, and they kind of look with a, sorry. They didn't know that they tried, but they couldn't hold it back. But they see Varkesh, and you said that Varkesh is a friend, right?
Yeah, I said we are the new. We're a new scouting party.
Okay, they just basically say it in Goblin, which you can understand of sorry.
I would say this in Goblin too.
Okay, yeah, as you just do that, they kind of look at the edge of the cliff, just looking down, going, they don't know what to do, they can't help you.
Can I ask a question to them?
I mean, yeah, during your turn, you could.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, but the bugbear next to Varkesh is more than happy to swing and try to give a reback. 7.
No.
Ding! Just dinks off your armor. That thing is just a solid piece of plate. Nothing. Didn't feel a thing.
I didn't feel a thing.
That's dwarven craftsmanship up there for you. Now, the other bugbear is currently charmed and doesn't know what to do. He knows not to attack Smokey, but he thinks Rook's a bit of a badass, and maybe he should try to get rid of the Kenku. So he's going to go behind the Kenku. As he just... Well, actually, the Kenku probably might be facing him, because he got attacked from behind. And he's going to try and bludgeon you with his Moaning Star.
Moaning Star.
19.
That'll hit.
Alright, you take 9 since you have not had your chance to get your reaction back. No uncanny dodge for you this time. So, as this happens and he bonks you on there, you kind of rub your head a little bit from the impact, but you can also hear with your perception that there's another scuffling, this time coming from the east, as you can hear the similar sounds of another party coming as they hear the scuffling from this location. As a new set arrives. Alright.
Make friends.
So, Rook, what do you wish to do as 2 more appear with another Chimera ready to engage?
Did Smokey make any of his arguments to try to pull these guys to our side in common?
Yeah, I think during his casting he said this to you guys in common. Don't attack that one, he's friendly.
Yeah, and I also said they're also charmed.
Okay. Alright. Rook will kinda... No, he's been attacked. I'm gonna shoot him.
Alright.
Yeah, you'll probably kill him.
I'll go ahead and insightful fighting him first.
Okay, go ahead and disciple fighting. 18.
That's 20, actually.
Alright, yeah, you can definitely tell. Very similar weakness to the previous one. Just go right underneath those plates. Get a
And
nice
shoot.
solid shot. Oh yeah, that hits.
For 17 plus 18, 45.
45. Alright, as you get yourself positioned right in there, you sink it in, and the creature just...
35, sorry. Still.
Still good enough. 35 as you sink it in, and you can see it just embed right up between the rib cage, and you can see him just clutching it there as the arrow has gone all the way inside his body, and he just falls. Dead.
And I will go ahead and move about 25 feet, get under this tree here,
Okay.
and end my turn.
Alright, as you scurry away to the distance to try and get yourself out of combat, Varkesh.
Okie dokie, I'm going to move 30 feet behind the Chimera. Take the attack of opportunity.
Okay, from the bugbear.
Yep,
Alright, the bugbear is going to try and grapple you.
like hell he is.
Yeah, so go ahead and do your athletics or acrobatics.
Oh, you have to roll 2.
Yep. He's going to roll a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. He just tries to grab on you, just like, flee! And you just dun, make it all the way to the Chimera on the other side.
Scaled freight train coming through, and I'm going to attempt to grapple the Chimera.
Go ahead and make another
do it.
athletics check as you try to grapple the big beast.
Yes. I'm gonna grab it. 12, wasn't that?
Oh.
It still fails.
Lucky for you with that nat
Another
one.
one.
It did not expect you to come at it from behind, as you now got a nice good
They
grip.
often don't expect it.
As you grip the tail, it just kind of goes, "Meow." The little tiny kitty cat yelp, as it was not expecting that whatsoever, and it's just in shock mode.
Just grab it by its plums. Okay, you're not going anywhere.
Ooh, a nasty grapple at that. Smokey, what are you gonna do?
Smokey will look to the 2 on the ridge and say, clearly they're out of control. How do you put these things down and keep them down?
Okay, they'll tell you when it's their turn.
Okay, so is that a free action?
Yeah,
for speaking?
free action. Yeah.
Sure. Do I wanna... I'm going to go ahead and take the dodge action because there's so many things on the field. And Smokey's going to go ahead and get himself out of there.
Okay.
So he'll go 5, 10, 15, 20. Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
25. No, he'll come over. He wants to get out of cone range. He's seen how these things attack. And then he'll like yell out to the 2 on the ridge also, answer in common if you can.
Okay.
And that's his turn.
All right. Okay. As you maneuver yourself in that direction, you can see the Chimera use its opportunity attack on Valindra, so it doesn't get it on you. It's going to turn around and see Varkesh, that terrible, vicious grappler. Let's see if it gets its breath weapon back. It does not. So it instead is going to just focus its fury on him, as it's just going to rake and hammer and claw. Here it goes, as it tries first to bite him. 26.
Ooh.
Yeah, great fucking dwarven armor.
It does seem to find that one little gap right here in your neck as a tooth just sinks in and a bit of blood spurts out. You take 12 piercing. And the horns, they ram in for 20.
Nope.
The plate keeps you steady and sturdy, not taking the damage as the claws do nothing.
Nope.
Your armor protected you from most of those attacks. Unfortunately for Smokey, as he moved his way down there, the Chimera stirs as bones and blood reseal the wounds, and it comes back up as you can feel the presence of it getting closer to you as you hear that noise from behind you, and the hot breath begins to exude. Let's see if it gets its breath weapon back. It does not. So it just comes back once more.
It's to act, though?
It gets to act
Damn.
as it steps in
I'm
closer.
dodging.
You're dodging?
Yep.
Dodgy dodge, allowing you the disadvantage, 14.
No.
And then the horns try to ram in, 13.
No.
And the claws, 14.
Nope.
All right, lucky for you, your dodge keeps you well and safe as you do not feel any of these terrible attacks impact you. But during this time, the other Chimera is released, and as it launches, it makes itself all the way to Valindra and tries to attack your warlock friend. First, Valindra, I need you to make a... Actually, before it reaches you, it's going to breathe out so it doesn't get its ally in the back. So go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me. You succeed, as you only will take half and half again, of course, because of your fire resistance. So that is 35, half from 34 into 17, halved again. You take 8 fire damage as the creature breathes out a terrible, nasty flame that does singe and burn a little bit, but your own resilience keeps you standing as the remaining 2 attacks come in, claw and horn. The horns, 22. And then the claws, 14. Fortunately for you, the claws do not pierce past your adamantine breastplate, but the 22 gives you a nice solid thud as you feel the bludgeoning impact take the air out of you. You take 10 in total from that impact. As the remaining chimeras are now all about and alert, looking for you, it's your turn, Valindra. What do you want to do?
Let's see. Do I see... Can I tell what's, like, making them come back up? Like, do the chimeras have, like a special item? Do they have, like, a...
You can make a nature check.
Might she be able to make it with advantage based on the nature of her, well, I guess doesn't matter either way. I was going to say nature of her patron, but doesn't matter.
Yeah, sadly. Well, you definitely know it's not undead. That you can absolutely just, like, negate. It's not that. There's something else, an element to it that you're not quite sure.
Troll. Gotta hit it with fire to keep it down, maybe. That's a good point.
We're gonna see.
Fire or acid. Not much I can do about it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hit it with Eldritch Blast again. I can't. The same one that's gonna attack Smokey.
Okay. So you are within melee range of another one, so as Smokey has said, so you would miss the first one, but the second 2 will hit.
That's fine.
So 6 and 7. And, well, so you hit the one that Smokey's at. The 6 and the 3 would not be enough to take it down, so the 7 would have to be the one that it finally knocks it back out unconscious.
Okay. And then I will action surge. And I will hit the one that's closest to me with my sword.
Oh, alright, so you pull out your sword with your action surge to make your attack as you unsheath it and slice across. Go ahead.
You get 2 attacks. Because it's action surge. Or, no,
No,
you're
no,
only level 3.
Yeah, only level 3. 16 will hit, though. 9 damage as you definitely slash a little bit of a cut across the front. Let's see, it does have something. Yep.
Yep, and that's my turn.
Alright.
Cool image. It's like pew pew and just...
The bugbears will maneuver themselves over here and try to get a little distance, but they are going to fling 2 javelins at Valindra. first one as they throw it. 19.
That hits.
All right, you take 7 from the first. As the second one, natural 1, just goes whoop and flumbles it right into its own foot. It's just, oh, darn.
Concentration check.
Yes. For you, Valindra, 1 concentration. We've been needing to do a lot of these. Just go ahead and make 3.
I've been rolling them.
Oh, you have? Oh, then you're fine. She's fine. Look at that nat 20. She's all good. All right. So the other bugbear is going to take his javelin and fling it at Smokey.
With disadvantage.
With disadvantage? Why?
I'm dodging.
Oh, you're still dodging?
The entire round.
Man, you dodgy kitty,
again.
as you... 15.
No.
All right, lucky for you, keeping yourself nimble and wary of your surroundings. You dodge the javelin that comes at you from there. The 2 bugbears on the top, as you answer, how do you stop them?
Yeah.
All right, they go, they're linked to us. You can't kill them if we're alive.
Oh,
Oh
no. Okay.
Sucks to be you.
Kill yourselves, please.
boy.
They did respond to you in Goblin, though. They don't know Common.
Fair enough. Okay, Smokey looks like... Can he... I suppose I can't talk now, can I?
No, you already used your talk, so when it comes to your round, you can spread the word.
Sure.
But Rook,
Sure.
what do you want to do?
It's a shitty health plan.
Well, being that I understood nothing and seeing the primary target here being these fellows there, I'm going to... Yeah, okay. I can't really... Alright, I don't want to endanger any of my allies by, like, making another target for the flame breath that can hit them. So I'll move about 25 feet this way in order to make it so that I'm hopefully offset enough to where they can't fire breath multiple in the same attack. And assuming Varkash is tanking up to hold off on that one, I will fire at the one standing next to Valindra.
All right, changing your shot, just unloading it and firing it at that one.
Yep.
19 will
to
hit.
That's with sneak attack here.
Ooh,
For,
32.
Yeah, 32 points of damage.
Very nice. You can definitely see that bolt sinks into a nice soft spot and gets a very critical hit on it. It looks pretty hurt.
And I will take a bonus action to... I'll go ahead and... bonus action dash to set myself up in a more favorable location there and in turn.
Okay, as you move all the way to the other side, getting yourself to what you think is the best advantageous position. Varkesh, still grappling hard on that Chimera. What do you want to do?
Okay, just to clarify, are we heading to Trilak or Trilog?
Trilak by Lock.
Trilog. Which one is it that we're heading to?
You're going to Trilak.
Trilak. Okay, I'm going to use a channel divinity to pray and ask my god, please, O Great One in the sky, take us from the field of battle and transport us to the trader hall, to the city where we want to go.
Oh, okay. Do you want to roll this, or is Valindra rolling?
Fuck it, I'll just roll it.
All right, rolling your percentile dice. Let's see. Oh! Oh!
Finally! I did it!
Oh! Wow! Okay! Shit! Wow, when you do it, you do it! Okay. So,
I'm good.
Varkesh, as you focus your prayer as hard as you can feel a warmth radiate from your center. The holy symbol that has been set into your armor begins to glow, and as you look down, you can see the radiating light just begins to envelop you and covers you in this glow as you can see platinum-like wings sprout up from around you. And you look at your allies, each of them also being absorbed with this glow as wings appear on all of them.
Just before I go, I'm like, peace. Yeah.
And then at this point, each of the wings just do a very mighty... They take off, and you just suddenly see each one of you, like a light beam, shoot out of this battle zone as you completely get stuck in what appears to be this blinding light as you find yourselves nearly completely, like, absorbed in heat and fury, unsure as to what the hell just happened. But suddenly, as it just comes in, Around you, you can see yourself suddenly appear at the Trader's Hall as people just suddenly panic and scream around as a sudden alarm is raised as 4 people materialize with beams of white light just breaking through the roof inside the center. As everyone is scattering, papers are flying, people are running in panic as you emerge and find yourselves here at Trilak.
Especially considering all of us have our weapons drawn and we're in combat.
You do,
yeah.
I'm just holding on to nothing at this point. Well, that worked.
God. Holy shit.
Quickly taking stock of the situation, I holster my weapon and hands up.
I am just happy that we don't have to deal with that shit, and I've just cut 2 days of travel.
What just happened?
I think, Varkash, are we in Trilak Trade Hall?
I'm still a bit of flabbergasted. Yeah.
Yeah, as you say that, and by the way, as Rook does this, and he just is kind of like doing the whole, sorry, not trying to kill anyone, honest to God, you're trying to be, as sincere as you can. The commotion causes enough of a stir as people suddenly are moving around. Guards have moved out from the walls and have come straight towards you. And as they get close, you see them pause and stop and look at each other. And they each draw their weapons. And they focus on all of you. However, as you stare for a moment, it's not at Varkesh. It's not at Smokey. They are pointing their weapons at Valindra and Rook. And they say, "You! Under arrest! Hands where we can see them!"
Whoa.
Why?
For what?
Hands up!
I cast the magic.
For what?
As you do that, they close in, and you can see a few guards coming up going, "You're wanted for crimes of murder, espionage, betrayal, and treason." And you can see them all taking out manacles, getting ready to clamp them on just you two.
I ain't standing for this shit. Rook is going to disengage and make a break for it. He didn't do anything, but he's not going to be caged.
Oh, Smokey was going to send a message to Valindra,
Yeah, I was going to, if Rook was in grabbing distance, I was going to grab Rook and we were going to Dimension Door out.
Okay, alright, you can do that. You can absolutely grab onto him and Dimension Door if you'd like.
Yep.
Alright.
Leave me and fucking Smokey standing there.
So yeah, as Rook is getting ready to disengage, you feel a tug on you as you look and you see Valindra staring at you as you both disappear. Where would you like to go? 500 feet from the Trader's Hall.
Yeah, 500 feet from the Trader's Hall.
Alright, as far as possible.
Towards the closest city wall.
Make an intelligence check to see how well you can try to hopefully find an alleyway that's not a stone wall.
Come on, girl. Hey.
All right, with a good enough calculation, you're able to remember the layout enough to just kind of put yourself closer to the wall in the north as you re-emerge and find yourselves in an alleyway, shaded by 2 buildings, just you and Rook, as Varkesh and Smokey are standing there kind of like doing this as the guards just stand back in surprise.
What's going on?
They're all a little concerned, and they just go, "Find them! Go!" And the guards
Resist
continue
about
to
the
move.
napkins. I can give them back.
As this is going on, 2 guards remain with you, Smokey and Varkesh, making sure you're not going to do anything funny as they stare at you for a moment, very concerned, as Rook and Valindra, at this moment, you are currently on the run. What do you wish to do?
How close are we to a city wall?
You're about a good 300 feet maybe from it.
Sweet. I will Dimension Doors again outside of the city wall.
Okay. Grabbing a hold of Rook once more, it's just like, deep breath! And you once more emerge outside the boundary of the wall, 200 feet away from it, as you can see yourself looking at the lake in front of you, the stone wall a good distance behind, giving you a bit of breathing room.
And I would also like to add in that it was mentioned in the last session that Smokey has been ritual casting water breathing on us at the start of every day as a default action. So,
yeah.
That being the case, I'm making a break for the lake and I'm going under.
Okay.
Same.
All right. As you go right towards the lake and dive down in to get yourself covered to make sure that no one can discern where you are, Varkesh and Smokey, the guards are staring at you with a bit of suspicion, going, "Do you know them? Are you associated with them? Who are you?"
Well, first of all, hi.
Yeah, we know them. But what
Just
have
slap
they
the
done?
camera in the back of the head. Jesus Christ.
As you are in this bit of like kerfuffle, you can hear this, darlings, 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 as you can hear eventually Lulu coming up as she's
arrest
scurrying as fast as she can.
Arrest us, please. Get us away.
She's moving as fast as she can. She's going, get away, out of the way, out of the way! And she gets her way all the way to you and goes, excuse me.
Lulu.
Darlings, there's been a misunderstanding. Please, by all means, excuse us. They are just currently in a different employ. There has been a mix-up, and I promise you, there's nothing to worry about. Please, by all means, leave them to me. I will address their problems with the guard. I assure you, they're not going anywhere. You can guard the front. They'll stay with me. Yes, thank you, thank you. As she tries to coax them away, let's see what happens. Okay.
Double powers at work.
You, Smokey, you recognize she's doing a magical effect.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that she has persuaded them enough to leave you alone for now. As she just turns and goes, follow me, you two, down here, quick. And you see her just moving as fast as she can back to the office rooms, the quarters in the back, and down a set of stairs, leading you into a nice little chamber that she shuts the door and locks it, making sure no one is nearby to listen. She looks at you and goes, darlings, what have you been doing?
Hold on. And Smokey will start doing message. We're going to do this entirely telepathically because I don't trust things happening. It's going to be slow, but it's going to work. And Smokey's going to start casting message to communicate between all three of us.
Oh, God. Darlings, I don't know if we have... Fine. And she just goes throughout the tedious process of doing Chinese whispers with you.
I haven't heard that term before.
It's the game you play as kids where you pass the message along, and sometimes it can be...
Telephone.
It's just another name for telephone.
Yeah, it's another
I
name.
think it's what we call in the UK. I think that's why he said it. Anyway, what does she whisper?
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
Smokey was...
So why are Rook and Valindra wanted by the law?
Darlings, there's been a bounty placed on them. They said that they were responsible for nearly killing a person, and responsible for the destruction of the cathedral.
Would this person happen to be a fire ganassi?
I'm not entirely sure. I don't know who made the complaint. All I know is that the guards posted out bounty posters yesterday.
Okay. And they're... Okay.
How much?
The current amount for the bounty.
Mm-hmm.
Each one is at 10,000 gold pieces.
Okay, so probably your dad.
Which, by the way, darling,
No.
I do have your cut for the money, but we can handle that later.
No. We handle that now.
Do you wish to? Well, we could certainly just... I could go out and get it, but you cannot leave this room.
It's fine.
Why?
Well, I don't trust you. You seem to be a little bit flabbergasted, and you nearly just convicted yourself to crimes that you didn't do, darling. I don't think you're the savviest when it comes to the law.
We just got here.
Yes, and you'll have to explain exactly how you did that. I'm sure I'm going to be having to pay for a few repairs. I might have to take that out of your credit.
Oh, look, is that a spider on the wall? That's a very interesting spider.
Anyway, so any other news? You said we got the gold for our last contract. Did those people that we hired to watch any fire ganassi activity, did they pull through it all?
Yes, darling, they did. They absolutely were able to find some interesting information regarding your friends, I suppose. You said sister and brother, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm assuming that might be the ones who were in charge. I didn't get names, but some details were made. According to my sources, they were able to find that during their scouting missions, when the cathedral had fallen, there were two individuals that they were able to uncover. A female, a very rather striking one, is that she seemed to have some kind of issue with another male. Moving with great haste, they seemed that he was injured of some sort, brought around to the city to try and find a way to recover the damage he suffered, and eventually made his way back to the cathedral, where the archdruid was able to successfully regrow his tongue. Luckily for them, their coin purses go quite deep. But as you can see, they seem to have done their business, and then we heard no more of them. I only hired the adventurers out for at least one day, darlings. They found out what they needed and reported back to me, and I had the information ready for you.
That is great.
I did take away from your earnings, though, darlings. It was 100 gold per adventurer.
I thought we already paid in advance.
We did.
We did.
Did you? Well, all right then.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. In any case, what about possible rumors of things big events, like big dragon-sized events that have happened in the past.
But
48
besides
hours?
the one that attacked the cathedral, darling, yes, that's the one that we're referring to.
Well, yes, but we've also found out that that one is dead, and we're wondering if you know how that happened.
Dead?
Maybe
Darling, no.
dead.
No, no. Did you kill it?
No.
Nope.
All right then. Well, if it's dead, do you know where the body is? Can there be proof? Can you bring it?
No.
Oh, because
Right.
it's the thing that could destroy the cathedral.
Yes, we could use our magic to be able to inquire about it.
Well, actually, there's got to be witnesses that saw a dragon doing all the destruction. How are they trying to pin it on the Rook and Valindra?
Darlings, I'm not entirely sure about all the details. All I know is that the guard captains placed out a bounty for them for questioning in regards to being the culprits responsible for the destruction of the temple. They said that they were the ones who brought the dragon's wrath down. I don't know exactly how or why, but it seemed that they were quite adamant on finding them and bringing them in.
Okay. So we're not sure. They when they were about to be arrested, they poofed out Valindra's work. Not 100% sure where they are, but I can find them using some magic. I was planning to, we were planning to pick you up, and we have a new base of operations, and we were going to, use our gold to buy some stuff that we need, and then hopefully head back there.
Well, that sounds all good and fine, darling, but shouldn't we try to address this problem with your current friends being wanted criminals?
Well, that goes without saying.
If possible, sure, but...
I suppose we could inquire, at least since right now you are currently not wanted. I was hoping to try and intervene, or at least maybe intercept you before you arrived, and try to at least provide you with a means to try and cover up yourselves, but you came in quite suddenly and very surprisingly from the roof. How did you do that again exactly? I've never seen that before.
We fell.
And you're still standing.
Fell from what, Varkesh?
I don't know, but you taught us how to land on our feet because you're a cat and you know when to be quiet.
All right. Well, what steps would we take? Would we try and ask the head of the guard?
Well,
Because
we should sit down, darling, have some tea, think about this carefully and cautiously. Let's try and form a plan. Maybe we can see if we can try to resolve this without any further troubles with the law. And as you all kind of get a little bit moment to try and figure out what to do, we swing over to Valindra and Rook underneath the water in the lakes. What do you wish to do?
Well, that was an interesting welcome.
As he talks to you, well, this is just a welcome.
it works underwater. You can talk.
You can. It just sounds a little muffled.
To say the least, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I think staying out in the middle of the desert is getting more and more appealing.
I'm starting to feel the same at this rate. Seems everything we do comes back to bite us in the ass in the end.
I guess we'll just wait for Smokey and Varkesh. It's not like we have anywhere to go.
Yes.
All right, just kind of taking comfort with each other, sitting at the bottom of the lake, the water just moving by you, kind of pushing you slightly occasionally as you feel that natural current just undulate a little bit. Lulu is settled down with Varkesh and Smokey, just trying her best to keep things calm as she has brought in some refreshments as she looks at each of you. Tell me, darlings, do you have a means to contact them? Can we try and get them back in the city?
I look to Varkesh. I'm actually pretty tapped on the mid-level spells. I have sending prepared, but it'd be a big level spell. Are you able to cast it today?
Yes, I can cast sending. I can get in contact with them today, yes.
Okay. I have seeming, so we could easily disguise all of us. What?
But until we find out more, I think we should just let Rook and Valindra rely on their skills of evasion until we can find out more, instead of leading them into a potential trap or anything else.
Yeah, that's all well and good, but as far as strengths of the party, you and I are not really the best at subtle
I can be subtle. I couldn't even say that with a straight face.
I think I'd feel more comfortable if we could all just get together and then plan out together.
How about this? I'm trying to think very Rook-like at the moment. How would the Tubby Budgie do it? He would probably wait till dark, and then he would skulk about, and then probably find some place to hunker down. So maybe if I can communicate with him, and seeing as he knows this place rather well, we can find a place to hunker down and wait until night to rendezvous.
I mean, that's the thing, but the other thing is that the spell that I cast on all of us this morning, it is going to wear off, and I don't... AJ, do you think it would last until nightfall? It's 8 hours.
It's 8 hours. You casted it around the morning time. I mean, it's not going to make it till nightfall.
Yeah.
So is the water... which one are you referring to? The water breathing one?
Non-detection. I mean, I'm sure they've been trying to scry us routinely. I mean, they'd have to be pretty... It's possible, but they'd have to get pretty lucky to do it as soon as it falls.
Well, that's the thing. Getting in, meeting up with them right about now would be more advantageous for them because we have the party split. So they can only, as far as we know, they can only scry on one person at a time, and we've got a party split. So I say we leave them to their own devices for now and then wait until the sun starts setting.
Okay, but so what do we do in the meantime?
Whatever Lulu suggests. She seems to be more knowledgeable about the situation, kind of. Maybe.
Well, darlings, if you have my opinion in there, I would suggest that we make sure that we at least get them to safety if they're not safe already. I'm not sure where they have gone. Do you know if they're safe? Are they smart enough to be safe right now?
I think so. I trust Valindra and Rook to stay safe.
All right. Well, if you think they're safe, then the best that we can do is try to see what this exact allegation is. Maybe I could try and use my feminine wiles, as it were, to get some more information from the guards.
Andrew, you should just never do that again. But go ahead.
I mean, sure. And I mean, if we could try and knock the shopping out of the way, so if we have to make a quick getaway, we can get out without having to. Because I mean, as I said, the main reason we came here was for you and resupplying.
Yes, indeed. Yes. And I do have everything ready for you. Did you wish to have it as credit, or did you want the actual coin? If I may make a suggestion, darlings.
By all means.
I suggest you might wish to take this as coin. Due to the fact that currently, right now, the guards are unaware of this, but if word will eventually leak out as the investigation continues that both of them are currently under my name, they will ask to find out where I know they might be, and they will eventually try to interrogate both of you to find out where they might be. Currently, right now, we have a little bit of a head time on this. We should be able to try and beat the system before they can crack down on you. I don't know how much time that is.
Right. So let's deal with the money now and some shopping.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you need, darlings?
Smokey pulls out a piece of paper. All right. So I would like about 10 pounds of lead. About, let's say, about 100 crossbow bolts, just normal ones. I would like you to look into a spell scroll for the spell slow. I have all this written down. Also, I don't know how much we have total, but I want whatever is left of just magical inks and parchment.
Certainly,
as well
darling.
as a list of any available magical items that the guild has available for purchase at this time.
All right, I can certainly check our stores and see anything else besides those supplies. Do you need anything else?
Yes, I'm curious. The Traders Guild does deal with magical items.
Yes, darling, of course we do.
Right. I'm curious. Would the Traders Guild have anything that may enhance one's strength on a permanent basis?
Well, I suppose it's possible, darling. I haven't checked my inventory list recently, but I could take a quick search, see if there's anything within Trilak, if not perhaps Bylok or Olniel.
Would you?
Yes, certainly. When we're done here, I will absolutely do so. But is there anything else you'll need?
Probably some more health potions.
We have 10 graders.
I know, but they I'd like to have a
Look
little
to see what they
collection.
have, yeah.
All right, I'll see what we can find in the stocks. So just health potions, 10 pounds of lead, 100 crossbolts.
Ooh, and an ingot of adamantium, if you can. I know it's rare, but
That might be hard to find, but I shall try, darlings. I shall try. And of course, you wish to find any health potions and any other parchments and inks used for your spell casting uses, correct?
And whatever available magical items that are for purchase.
don't forget any magical component for Valindra's wand.
That wouldn't be included in the magical items, I
Would it?
assume.
Okay.
Darlings, I will absolutely try to get the list down to you, but nothing else. You don't need any reagents, no casting materials of any kind. You don't need any.
Go ahead and add to that 250 worth of magical chalk.
All right. Specific magical chalk. I'll see what.
If you ask around for a teleportation circle, that's
Oh.
the type that I need.
Oh, darling, that's quite intriguing. Why would you need that?
Because it's a spell that I know.
You know. What circles do you know, darling? Tell me.
None that are particularly well traveled, unfortunately. That's how we go back to our new home base. But I mean, if what is the method for learning new locations?
Darling, to know that you have to know the circle itself, and the only circles I'm aware of exist in the traders' halls. There's only 4, and you don't know one of the 4. Where are you getting these circles from?
It's a family secret. It's passed down from generations.
Well, if you're more than willing to share, perhaps I'd be happy to learn this circle. Still, we have some, though the request of such an item would certainly raise questions. I'll have to try and subtly acquire some. Anyone who seems to be able to use the chalk would be someone who has the skill to know the circles, and they would suspect you would know the trader's one. Are you sure you don't know any of the trader's secrets?
The secret. I mean, I don't know any of the trader circles. No. I mean, I think the most useful one for us would be Al Niel if we could prioritize that one.
To know the circle.
Yeah, for me to learn it. Yeah.
That might be difficult, though. I could try to get you the circle. Is there a reason you wish to, send goods specifically to Alnio?
I mean, you could always say that our new investment in the steamboat, we have new products that are being created from a distance and need to be transported there expeditiously.
Ah, very well, darling. That would be fine. Please do send me a notification before you do something like that, so I can at least be there to intercept the packages. If something was to arrive without the notice of the Traders Guild traveling and transporting, the goods will be confiscated and under suspect, certain that they might belong to something nefarious.
I wasn't sure that I thought that was more of a cover.
A cover, darling.
I don't think we're not at a stage to actually go through with that, but that would just be like an above the board reason to get the circle without so many questions raised.
Very well, I suppose. Unless you wish to address this towards the traders themselves, I suppose we could bring it to them. They might be able to be willing to see your reasonable request.
Just do your best to get the circle.
I'll try, darlings, I'll try. It might be a little difficult, but I'll try. So besides the chalk that you need, which is a heavy toll, besides that, was there anything else you require? You said that you were constructing a base of some sorts?
Yes, I mean, Lulu, because you were just saying that they're going to put some heat on you, we were assuming you'd want to come with us. Are we wrong?
Come with you? Oh, well, darlings, if I was to come with you, then, well, I suppose you would lose your influence on the inside. It's possible, but don't you want me to be here to receive and find information to share with you?
I mean, you have been very useful with that, and clearly, I mean, Farkeshi can keep herself out of trouble. The heat's on pretty tough on our little group.
But we can We can resolve this, darlings. This doesn't have to be a terrible thing. We can just ride the wave slightly, bribe a few, blackmail some. We'll be fine.
I mean, if she's confident in staying here, I have no problem with that. Barkesh?
It's entirely her play when it comes to her.
Excellent, darlings. I promise you, an asset here inside Trilak will be quite beneficial to us all. So, but if you said you were building yourself a base, do you need any other supplies for that?
Yeah, we need stores of food and what do dwarves like? Beer?
Dwarves?
Anything
Well,
alcoholic.
I'm told they like quite a lot of alcoholic beverages, stouts, ales, beers, some wines, I suppose. Would any of those be suitable?
Just
Yeah.
strong ales will do.
Strong ales, very well. Strong ales. How much do you wish to spend on this budget?
Let's just say enough food, drink, and everything else for a month.
A
Let's
month's
just say-
worth? Oh, well,
For about, we'll say 15 individuals.
a month for 15. All right, I can do some calculations with that, darlings. That's quite a lot, and for a great deal. Are you planning on leaving for that long?
Well, it's not really
Better
for
to be
us.
prepared. But yeah, just so, I mean,
All right.
the new base is kind of in the middle of nowhere, so this is kind of a supply run.
Where exactly is this base, you call it?
Up north in a just sort of a out of the way plot of land that my family owns.
Varkish is whistling exceedingly loudly as Smokey is divulging the location of this place.
I said north.
Interesting,
Good luck.
darlings. Somewhere north with a teleportation circle? I've never heard of such a location.
Damn it.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll do some research to see if I can find what I can about your new base. See if there's anything that might be insightfully useful for us. Still,
Well, Lulu, I don't want you to really research. It's supposed to be secret because we have people who can use divination magic to try and find us.
Yeah, like here, for example.
well, all right. I shall be very quiet. Hush, hush. Mum's the word.
All right.
But of course, so we have that. We have your crossbow bolts, we have your food and beverages supplies. We also have your adamantine bar, if I could find it. Suddenly acquire the gem-infused chalk needed for circles, as well as some of the inks and parchments for your wizarding uses, and of course any magical items or a list of those that are available within either Trilak, Bilak, or Alniel that could be sent to you. I shall get to that, I suppose, but before
And then
I...
last, possibly a scroll of slow, if that's in. If
Yes,
that'd be
I shall
included.
check to see what scrolls they have available. Though, of course, in the meantime, while this is going on, I can send a few assistants to gather information about this, acquire the basic essentials. No one will question that at all. Do you wish for us to go to the guard? Actually, I should get you your money. Yes, let me get that for you real quick. And you see
Thank
her
you.
step up as she goes behind the desk and pulls out a large box as she just kind of puts it down. She goes, heavy coins. Opens the lid as she goes in. You see her start sorting platinum coins. She just piles them up, begins to count them. In total, she starts to do a very weird, kind of measurement in quick succession and turns out what appears to be 900 platinum pieces.
That's 50,000 gold pieces.
9,000.
No,
gold
times
pieces.
10.
That's 9,000 gold there, bud.
that-
And
That's
she
not-
took her 10%
Is,
for her.
is that each?
She takes that and she pushes it to you. Goes, who'd like the first one, darling?
Varkesh will handle the finances as far as.
Oh, will you just take all of them then, darling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, then by all means, as she does that, she just kind of continues piling it off. And she makes a total of 4 stacks of 9,000. She assumed you were going to divide it accordingly, but if all to Varkesh, all to you.
3,600 platinum pieces.
Incorrect. Oh, yes, sorry, platinum pieces, you're saying. Yes,
So
Yeah.
that's correct.
That's 36,000 gold, boys.
Yeah. So in that case, I will rethink my order. Go ahead and make it. Yeah, let's make it never come up again. Make it 1,000 gold worth of the magic chalk.
Darling, there's not that much chalk in all of Florin.
As much as is available.
Darling, as much as I can acquire without being suddenly run up with questions
With
as to
your
why I took the
discretion,
entire
of course.
supply of chalk. I'll get as much as I can, darling. By the way, I am sorry I couldn't get you the full amount. I did request it to come in as fast as possible, and he did agree that he would pay it at only 40,000 instead of 50, but he does owe me a favor in return, so I think we have a little bit of something on our side to help us out in the
Can
meantime.
you tell us the name of this individual now that the contract's complete?
Darlings, I still cannot give that information out, but I can tell you that this particular individual is of a great standing, and not from Trilak. She winks.
Huh. It wouldn't happen to be someone of a more scaly nature, would it?
Oh, it's quite possible, darling, as she runs her hand up and down Varkesh a little bit.
I beg your pardon.
Okay, well, Miss Lulu, if there's anything else you can think of, I think we want to get things moving.
Indeed, darlings. I'll send out the assistants right away to do that while we make our way to the guardhouse. Is there anything you wish to convey to your friends before we head out?
Not right now.
All right. As she nods, she goes off to do a few tasks with her assistants, sending them off to gather the necessary things that she can do without her needing to get her hands dirtied with all that stuff. She will follow you out, eventually going past the guards as she waves and goes, "Just going to the barracks. You can escort us if you'd like. Nothing funny here." As they do follow you two, making your way to the barracks. As the pair of you walk towards that direction, Valindra and Rook, you spend about a good hour inside the lake, just waiting patiently. You still feel the magic presence of the non-detection spell upon you, and the security around you is very calming.
Good.
And at this time, it's something that you don't really feel too on edge about. But at the time, where's Winnie?
I mean, he's with me, so
Okay.
we're still gonna get scryed on.
But Winnie, so as Winnie was pocket dimensioned, or was he with you the entire time?
I mean, he was out for the battle.
Okay, so if Winnie was
I
out
don't
for the
know,
battle,
What happens to Winnie whenever I dimension door
so
or when we get teleported?
well, because what happened is that during the teleportation, Winnie, without people noticing, got silvered wings and was teleported up with you, and
Adorable.
appeared inside the Trader's Hall. When you dimension doored, Winnie has stayed currently with Varkesh and Smokey.
Okay, well then he's probably still with Varkesh and Smokey.
All right, so
Communicate with us.
did you wish to then
That's
hear?
kind of on you guys.
Well, it's kind of on Valindra. Shit.
I'm sick.
But with your distance, being able
We never
to
mentioned it.
communicate with Winnie might have been there the entire time.
I mean, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Smokey would have noticed Winnie too.
Eventually, you might have just.
retroactively, but yeah.
I mean, that kind of depends. Like,
It's probably a thing where what happened is that when you made your way down, you didn't realize as Lou was hurrying you along, Winnie was trying to keep up with you, not sure where the hell Valindra went, and Valindra was just kind of focusing on getting into the lake, and Winnie was just like catching up, and then the door shut behind him, and he's just been scratching at it, going, trying to get
Sure.
in.
Aw, poor guy.
But then as you open the door, oh, there's Winnie.
Hey guys, we're drowning. Not actually.
Wait, what?
Actually drowning.
As
We're
she's
breathing
saying,
fine.
That's supposed to be impossible.
We're not
I
actually.
literally
drowning.
make it so you cannot
We're not actually drowning. We're just.
Smokey
Chilling.
seems to close the door again.
drown. As the talking fox picks up, we're drowned. Oh!
Okay,
We're just chilling.
okay, but you guys are safe. No one followed you. You're captured.
I mean, nobody's fighting us right now. I wouldn't say we're safe. Apparently, we have a whole city after us.
Yeah, and someone with really deep pockets. Apparently, each of you have a bounty of 10,000 gold on your head.
Sweet.
Darling, is that you, Lou? Is that you?
Is that Lulu?
It's Lulu. She's
No, it's not me.
does Valindra just like hang up the phone and the fox's ears just go down or something?
Darlings, what did you do? They said that you're responsible for the attack on the cathedral. Is this true?
No, we didn't do anything. We tried to help, and then we have people after us, which is right on par for us.
not their fault at all that the dragon came.
All right, well,
We didn't do anything. The cathedral fell. We tried to stop it.
I trust you, darlings. I truly do. I've known you long enough to know that you wouldn't do something as terrible as that. But you're safe, at least, in, water? You're in water somewhere?
Yeah. Smokey and Varkesh know where we are.
All right, well, as long as you remain safe, I'm sure we'll be fine. We're going to try and clear your name at the guardhouse to figure out what's going on. I don't think they know about Winnie, so he should be fine if he accompanies. Do you wish to still stay with us?
Yeah, you can carry him around.
All right, darling. I'll take the little fellow.
No. It's
I meant Smokey, actually. I think Winnie's allergic to your perfume. And I'll make Winnie sneeze. As Lulu tries to grab him.
Oh, sorry, darling. Darling, I don't wear any perfume, but that's fine.
You must just be too awesome.
I am, darling. I don't wear any perfumes, and I only take bubble baths. So.
Oh,
God.
man.
Does Rook have any questions for us?
Rook, do you have any questions for Smokey and Varkesh?
Well, just if they can get this sorted out.
Shopping. Do you guys need anything for shopping? We just made a list.
Do
We
you
already
need
got-
anything?
We got crossbow bolts for Rook, but that was the only thing I could think of for you two.
Apparently they got you crossbow bolts.
I mean, that's
Do you want
excellent. If they could
milk
find
and
some
cookies?
manuals on alchemy, that would be helpful.
He wants nerd books on alchemy.
As much
Ow.
alcohol as we can afford on our pittance of remaining funds. Actually, how much did we get out of this bounty?
Wait, what happened to that wine that you bought like not too long ago?
It's been drank.
By who? We didn't open it.
Oh no, I had it opened. I've been having some here and there.
Okay, Rook needs wine and alchemy books.
And anything for you, Valendra?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right, so adding those two things.
All right, darlings. Do keep yourself close by, and we shall try to make sure that you will not be continue to be persecuted by this false charge. The
And
Nevis.
by the way, if we need to meet up, I have seeming today, so I can disguise all of us. But yeah.
I
Splendid,
mean, it's up to you guys until you tell us otherwise. We'll be here,
Okay.
but we will need to meet up sometime tomorrow morning. Otherwise, we will actually be drowning. So,
Right. Okay.
All right, darlings. Here, let's make our way to the guardhouse.
oh wait, what about those? Like, I mean, are there any trinkets that will protect us so we don't have to spend an ass ton of gold every day?
We're going to look into all magic items that are available.
Cool. TTFN.
Ta-ta for now.
Hoo, 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 hoo.
I'll hang up the Winnie phone.
Hang up the
Well, Winnie still telepathically pings you what's going on, just kind of like
Yeah,
being a
he'll
little
let me know if I get a text.
yeah, or like say they're talking to you, they're trying to get to you.
Yeah, I'm done FaceTiming them though.
All right. Okay, we're now to typing. So
Yeah.
all right.
Speaking of which,
And Rook actually speaks up at this point. You know, we could just leave.
Yeah, but with Smokey's family after us, I don't think we'd last long on our own.
Yes, but we have that non-detection going, and I'm sure we could get far enough away to where it would be less of a problem.
I mean, it might be less of a problem for a little bit, but eventually, I mean, we did kind of cut out the brother's tongue, and I did kind of kill him.
Yes, I suppose it's not really just Smokey anymore, and frankly, I guess I wouldn't really want to leave him behind anyway.
thanks.
When Varkesh
No.
has his moments.
You've made your bed now.
I don't
You
know.
can't hear this.
You'd be surprised what a cleric can hear.
Yeah, Varkesh definitely has his moments. I don't know. I feel like we're kind of stuck with it now.
Yes, well, Been enjoying these life-shattering revelations we've been having lately?
I'm living the dream. I always thought it would be different once I, got out in the world and made friends. But
Yes, you and me both. I mean, I figured once I was away, I'd thrown off the shackles of expectation entirely, and now I'm wanted by the law for some reason that I still don't understand. Not to mention all this other nonsense going on, all these different forces forcing me in directions I don't necessarily want to take. And those it just feels as though we're being tossed about by something we know nothing about.
yeah, I feel you there. That was kind of in my cards before you guys showed up, so I guess I'm sort of numb to it by now.
I suppose, but just wish we could do something about it. Every time we make some progress, some new setback occurs.
Yeah. Maybe one day we'll get to retire. I don't know. In the middle
Hopefully
of a
once we
desert.
get this situation taken care of with Varkesh's father, either way, I'm sure we'll be a bit more free to move about.
Yeah, a little bit. Still got to do something about your parents. I mean, do you really think they would just turn you in like that?
I don't know anymore, to be quite honest.
I mean, you grew up with them, spent time with them.
But what Varkesh's father is dangling before my father's eyes is the answer to one of two major problems Kenku have faced since as long as we've existed.
Well, yeah, but you're also his only kid. I feel like that has to count for something, right?
Yeah, I thought so too. But apparently it was a pretty instantaneous agreement.
I mean, we still don't know the full terms. If Varkesh's dad was like, either give me your son or your whole clan dies,
Yes, I suppose we don't have the full details as to exactly what went on there. But I feel like Varkesh would have mentioned it if it was something to that degree. From what it sounds like, this is more of a carrot rather than a stick situation.
he might have forgotten. I don't know. I guess it always might be a good idea to have Varkesh contact your mom now that he knows what she looks like. It sounds like she's more reasonable of
Yes,
them.
well, there's no guarantee she'll be honest with us. I don't
There's
know.
no guarantee.
I don't know what I can trust any longer.
I mean, it doesn't seem like running away from our problems is an option.
Certainly be unexpected, though.
You definitely don't want to just abandon your parents.
No, I don't.
Even if they are willing to offer you up, I know you're too curious answers from them to just walk away from that.
Well, I figure we can just spring them and then see how it goes, and should things be less than amenable, we can just disappear at that point. Well, maybe. Some of us have more trouble with that than others.
Yeah. I don't know. I
And how are you doing lately? This whole situation with Ab and Empress.
It is what it is. I go from one guy to the next. I mean, she hasn't asked me to kill anyone. I mean, other than undead people. She hasn't asked me to steal anything.
Varkesh got an inspiration.
Oh,
It's a
nice.
step in the right direction, to be sure.
Yeah, she doesn't do creepy whisper things in the back of my mind. I mean, she's been pretty silent, honestly, so I haven't really got the chance to know her. I mean, I don't know. It's a relief in a way, but I it's just different to get used to, I guess.
Yes,
I feel
well, not all bad at the least.
Yeah, I feel more obliged to do what she says than to do what he said, though. So
For sure. And I think now that we have somewhat of a home base being built, perhaps we can get our bearings, so to speak, and start actually making some progress on all these problems that are springing up around us.
hey, are we the first people to travel by teleportation circle?
I don't think we're the first ever to have, but
Well, but I remember Lulu freaking out about teleportation circles at one, like something about how like they are only used to transport goods, not people.
yeah, something about it being unstable, as I recall, for
Yeah,
general travel.
did we just like, I don't know, make a scientific breakthrough?
If we had, it'd be mostly on Smokey and his book. They're apparently quite accomplished practitioners.
Interesting.
But with those revelations and thoughts, as you lean on each other for support, with the two heading off with Lulu to find out what can be done, that's what we'll call it for tonight. As you guys are split apart to figure out what might happen to the rest of the party when we return next week, as you guys figure out this dilemma. But from all of those here, thank you so much for joining us and watching along. And of course, we operate every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, with shows that operate on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 6 to 6:30 on days respectively. Please be sure to catch us out, and we shall see you guys again. So thanks again. Toodaloo, guys.
Bye all.
Bye. Thanks for
Bye.
joining us.
Good night, guys.